at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Calling all Gamecock fans, it's the return of the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing. Put on your Garnet and Black and head out to Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th for this free event featuring Gamecock Central. The festivities start at 5 p.m. and include a food menu inspired by all your tailgate favorites with live music from Ryan Trotty beginning at 6. So come out for the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th from 5 to 10, and we'll see you there.
Get hurt in a bad wreck, you only get one shot to get it right. And too often, insurance companies have a plan to pay you as little as possible. But you don't have to put up with that. You deserve better when you're hurt. At the Jeffcoat firm, we fight back. Fast, hard, and smart. Call Jeffcoat all hours, every day. 803-200-2000. The longer you wait, the more the insurance company gets the advantage.
Responsible attorney Michael Jeffcoat, 1333 Main Street, Columbia.
Hey, this is Paul Romenstein, proud owner of Midlands Landscape and Lawns, here today with my two sons.
Hey, I'm Blake Romenstein. Midlands Landscape and Lawns is a family-owned business rooted right here in the Midlands for over 30 years.
And I'm Braden Romenstein. We're not just local, we're your neighbors, and we're going to take care of you like you live next door.
From residential landscaping to hardscape design and installation to maintenance and everything in between. Call or visit Midlands Landscape and Lawns today at midlandslandscape.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text GUYS44 to 323232. GUYS44 to 323232. 1201 Main Street, Columbia.
Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The postgame show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
All right, 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. Welcome aboard the post-game show. I better get the whole thing right today. Here's why. Terry's gone. Ed Bird's at Master Control. And who is sitting next to me? One Elijah Campbell?
This has to be the first time we've done this, right?
It is. This month.
This month, correct. First time we've ever done this.
That's
nice
right.
to meet you, Mr. Phillips.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Elijah has very, very kindly volunteered, no coercion.
Nothing at all. Nope. There's nothing in it for me.
As far as you know, to co-host the show with me the rest of the week while Terry and his family are on vacation.
I thought about it. I was like, never done this before. Don't know if the chemistry's going to be right, but sometimes the best things in life are worth taking the risk. So
Just find
I said,
out.
why not? Let's do it.
Let's roll the dice and
There's only
see.
one way to do it.
But in all seriousness, I have offered as payment to get Elijah the case of beer of his choice.
Dangerous game.
And today and tomorrow, and if you have suggestions, yesterday someone hit us up and said, in fact, I'll show you the tweet because you'll laugh at it.
Oh, I love laughing.
So let me get this for you.
I love living, laughing, and loving. All at the same time.
But while I pull this up, I'll just get the beer of Elijah's choice. Let me go back and find it here. Come on, it's somewhere.
Maybe we should give an award for someone can guess it.
Now I can't find it, of course. Well, it's in here somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, here it is. Look here.
It's hiding from you.
Right here. I just want you to see it, or then I'll read it. See, can you see this?
He says,
this was the start bench drop yesterday, but that's just the bottom part.
They get a keg of Leinenkugel.
By the kid. So you're the kid.
I'm the kid. I'll take that.
The kid.
Relatively speaking, at this station, Tyler and I are the kids.
Buy the kid a keg of Leinenkugel. So I probably won't get you a keg because that's a lot of beer.
That is. and I'll drink it before it goes flat.
Well,
Dangerous game.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, I guess
Dangerous game.
You keep it pressurized, you'd be all right. Anyway, but if you guys have suggestions for Elijah and whatever beer he might like,
or anything that you think I should try,
probably want it in the IPA realm.
Yes,
right.
I prefer hoppier beers.
Right, me too.
IPAs, hazy IPAs.
Sure. So yeah,
any variation.
And then on Friday, so today and tomorrow, we can make suggestions. You can come up with whatever you want, man. And if it's 4 6-packs that equal the case, 2 12s, a 12 and 2 6s, 24 singles.
Taking 24 trips to the car.
Those of you of a certain age might remember that really funny SNL commercial that just popped into my head. It was like a bank, but all they did was make change. And it was like if you have a $50 bill and you want 25 twos or however many dimes, like come see us. All we do is make change. Like it was great.
That's all we got.
So, but whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. Just say thank you for doing this. Otherwise, how you been? How's Jen's treating you well?
Yeah, she hasn't bullied me yet.
Okay, yet.
She hasn't completely intimidated me.
Right.
But I haven't acted up, so I think that's really the plus there.
And Preston's good?
Preston's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. All right. And your sleep patterns are now back normal? You're good?
Define normal.
You're sleeping?
I am sleeping.
Okay.
Yes, I am sleeping.
That's good.
Sacrificed my midday nap to be here because I was like,
I think is that a twofold thing because you also went and covered the Gamecock defensive player availability.
Yes.
So you could.
That was like 11:45.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about me is I can't just nap for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. When my eyes close and I'm off asleep, good luck waking me up if I haven't been asleep for at least an hour.
Well, I was going to say, now it's like you can either power nap for like the experts, right? Say you can power nap for like 20 minutes.
Impossible.
Or you need to go more than an hour. Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah, I hope so.
Is that right, Ed Bird? Does that sound about right? Yeah, Ed Bird says yes. All right. Well, it's good to see you. How was defensive availability?
There were more players speaking today, it felt like.
3 yesterday, right?
4.
Okay.
4. But 4 of them yesterday. Had a good steady stream of defensive backs. So, Jalen Kilgore, Brandon Cisse, some linebackers, Sean Murphy and Fred Johnson were in the house, and Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy on the defensive line spoke a little bit as well. And, I mostly was asking about turnovers because we're going to be hitting the turnover battle and how South Carolina has done historically under Shane Beamer in that category, and kind of gauging what their philosophy is on it, what's being taught, and everything like that. And it puts a smile on my face to know that they are drilling the peanut punch. They didn't call it the peanut punch today, but they referred to on multiple occasions. Multiple players referred to punching the ball out. They drill it and drill it and drill it, and that was one of the best single defensive player moves in the NFL in the last 2 decades. You had the Reggie White outside arm shove. Dwight Freeney had one of the best spin moves in the history of the NFL. Peanut Tillman made sure you're holding on that ball about as tightly as human possible because he will punch that sucker out, and they're drilling that over there.
Well, that's good. That's good. We'll get more from Elijah on that. Our good friend Lulu Keston of the Greenville News will join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. She was down there as well. We got a little basketball to discuss with Lulu also after the women's schedule release yesterday, and one in a good way. I guess glaring is not the word because glaring has a negative connotation, but one specific date really stood out, and I want to talk with Lulu about that. Today, the men's basketball schedule was kind of released in the sense that you know who you're going to play and you know where you're going to play. You just don't necessarily know when.
Oh, we know when.
You're going to play.
In terms of time?
Well, there was half the dates were could be Tuesday or Wednesday.
There was a slash.
Yeah.
There.
So there's lots of there's still some specificity to be determined.
Why don't they just do what they have been doing and have
I don't know.
X amount of games on Saturday?
I don't know.
The SEC's never played as far as I can remember games on Sunday.
Well, I think all your Saturdays, the men know all their Saturday games, right? It's just the Tuesday, Wednesdays. It could be Tuesday, could be Wednesday.
Yeah, your Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But
so Good home slate.
A really good home slate.
Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee, all coming here.
All three expected to be contenders for national titles, not just SEC titles, national titles. And you start off a lot easier than you did last year.
Vandy comes to Columbia to start.
First road trip is to LSU, which will be a little more manageable than
should be,
even though they did add a ton in the transfer portal. This is a win because you have to year for Matt McMahon.
Yes, as the great Tony Barnhart would say. By the way, we have some, it's not breaking news anymore. It happened about an hour and a half ago, I guess now. But congratulations to Irmo's Little League team. They're in the regionals, the Southeast region. And with they were down 4-2, bottom 6, bases loaded, 2 out. And I guess a double, basically, probably you would say, off the wall in left field, cleared the bases. And South Carolina was the home team. And they won the game 5-4. They are off.
Down 4-0 to start the game,
how about that? Off to Williamsport now in the Little League World Series. So congratulations, fellas.
Knocking out the defending champions from Florida, too. That was the team that won the entire thing last year.
That's right. But third base coach, man, he's never waved his arms any faster than he did on that. I've seen the replay now like 20 times. And he's windmilling, man.
Dislocating his shoulder from windmilling so
his
hard.
His shoulder's going to hurt. He's like...
I'd be the same way.
I know, right?
Yeah,
like
if I'm third base coaching like my kids' team in the Little League World Series, like my arm would be dislocated and flying off into the stands, and I'd have to have somebody retrieve it like I'm Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's what he did. He was like, don't even, y'all don't, there's nothing to worry about here. You just go. But he is. That arm is waving. It's so funny, man. It's so funny.
I'd be so animated as a third base coach. Like, that would be such a fun gig.
Good for them. We got a lot of college football to discuss. I'm going to hit Elijah with some trivia that I found out about today. I was watching the Andy and Ari show on 3 on YouTube, and I really, that's become one of my favorites. You know, they play off each other because they're so very different. You know, Andy's such a smart ass, and Ari is just, he's just a lovable writer.
Right.
You know, he's like a teddy bear, and Andy's very in your face when he wants to be. Andy's a great dude. Don't get me wrong. I think Andy's awesome. But anyway, they had Brett McMurphy on this morning, and Brett, by the way, real quick, Brett read an email from a Gamecock fan, and like the subject line was something like, "Yeah, hey Brett, love your work." And then, like, in the email, it's like, just kidding. You stink. How could you not put the Gamecocks in your top 25? And all this
what a trick play.
What
a trick
why
play.
do you have a vendetta against South Carolina? And Brett went on to, and this leads me into it, Brett went on to talk about, like, last year in the preseason top 25. I think he was referencing the AP. The coaches poll is the one that's out. But Brett votes in the AP poll, and he went ahead and put his ballot out, even though the full ballot release, or the full poll release, won't be until, I think, Monday afternoon.
Yeah, and Brett is not a coach.
Right. So Brett went ahead and put his AP, his own personal ballot out, and South Carolina wasn't on there, which is fine. But Brett made the point last year, of the preseason AP top 25, and I'll just ask you, this isn't the trivia question, by the way, that I was going to ask you. I have another one.
Keep
but this is a bonus trivia question. But how many of the preseason AP top 25 finished ranked?
I'm going to say that number is 13.
12. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, 12. So, I mean, basically half the poll.
Oh, it's almost on average. There is at least one team that's in the preseason top 10 that finishes unranked.
Yep.
Some years you get 2, and in the early 2000s you have some years where you get 3.
Right.
So the fun part every year is picking out which one it is. Like, you know, who's the fraud in the group? Because every year there's at least one. It's amazing if you just go back. Like, if you're, you know, for you listening right now, I implore you just to go through the last 20 years of preseason AP top 25s and see where everybody finished. You will find at least one each year that's in the top 10 that does not finish the season ranked. And last year it happened in spectacular fashion because Florida State was a top 10 team, and they lost 10 games. Right. They were not going to finish anywhere near the top 10 or the top 25.
I don't know who I feel like that could be Miami this season.
I could see that going spectacularly.
They're number 10 in the coaches poll. Let's see where they are ultimately in the AP poll. But anyway, so, yeah, 12 schools last year that were ranked preseason finished in the poll. All right, so the other one that he pointed out, and this is the trivia question now, and I'm going to ask it, and then we'll give an answer because I have the answer. Going back to 2004, and Brett posed this on the show this morning. Going back to 2004, only 2 national champions were not ranked in the preseason top 7.
Oh, the Cam Newton year is one of them. That Auburn Cam Newton team has to be one of them.
So there's 2. All right, so could be. You might be onto something. You might not. But there's 2 in the since 2004. So who are they? Give you the answer on the other side. Also have today's start, bench, drop on the other side. And it is also coaches poll related. So we got a lot of polling data that we're using today. More from Elijah on what he covered down at the defensive player availability. And again, our good friend Lulu Keston of the Greenville News will join us coming up bottom of the hour. Jay Phillips, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird at Master Control. It's the Wednesday postgame show.
The game phone line at 803-404-6100. Sponsored by AAA Heating and Air. Now offering 12-month payment plans on all HVAC or electrical repairs with no credit check. Online at callAAAtoday.com. August 22nd at Charwood Golf Club. Tee time is 9 a.m. Registration starts at 7:30. Chevrolet Studio. Provided by Saki's Wine and Spirits. Onion sausage for breakfast and Firehouse subs for lunch. And oh yeah, we have prizes. And the golf gun is back again. $400 a team. Call 803-755-2000 and press number 2 to sign up. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
All right, let's tell you a lot about Griffin Pools and Spas. And look, if you don't have a swimming pool in your backyard and you would like one, I think you basically know what that entails, right? All right, so that sort of speaks for itself. And you can certainly call Griffin Pools and Spas and get a brand new pool built. But what if you're already a pool owner? Do you need some repairs? They can get that done for you. They've been doing it for a long time. Equipment upgrades. Maybe that pump and filter system just ain't doing it anymore. You're like, why is my water always cloudy and dirty and just not, well, it might be time for something new. Maybe you've got a vinyl-lined pool, and that's starting to fade from use and weather and chlorine or whatever else. Well, hey, you know, it doesn't take that much to get a vinyl liner replacement. Safety covers, water analysis. So for you existing pool owners, Griffin is still your expert to get all that done for you. 803-957-2121 and always online to learn more, griffinpoolsandspas.com.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Are you considering a new roof or repairs but unsure where to start? Crescent Construction offers free roofing estimates to help you make informed decisions with ease. Our expert team is ready to assess your needs and provide comprehensive insights. Visit our website, CrescentCarolina.com, to learn more about our services and schedule your free estimate today. Trust us to guide you through the process with professionalism and care. Don't wait. Contact us today at CrescentCarolina.com.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, where we've been proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle or just need expert service, you'll find it all right here. Shop online anytime at HerndonChevy.com or stop by and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Joe Sandifer, Esquire, 11915 Plaza Drive, Suite 301, Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, 29576.
Attention construction pros. Purple Wave Auction brings quality equipment to your fingertips. Join our bi-weekly online auctions featuring dozers, excavators, loaders, and more. We provide detailed listings, photos, and seller contact info. Inspect online or in person. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Visit purplewave.com today and see why informed builders choose Purple Wave. Transparent processes, real deals. Your next great purchase awaits. purplewave.com.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
Post-game show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
18 minutes after 3 o'clock here on a Wednesday. Welcome back into the post-game show. Jay and Elijah with you. Terry away for a few days. Ed Bird at Master Control. Lulu Keston in the Greenville News coming up in just a bit. Throwing out some trivia that I did not come up. Well, I got the answers because Brett didn't give the answer. Brett McMurphy was on the Andy and Ari show on 3 on their YouTube channel this morning and said only twice since 2004 has the eventual national champion of college football not been in the preseason top 7. And I asked Elijah, and I'm asking all of you, who are those two? I went and looked it up. Who are those two schools? Now, you had one guess already on it.
Yep.
And that was?
That was 2010 Auburn, the Cam Newton Auburn team.
That is one of them.
That was the easy one.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really tough. I'm going to say, was it 2000? Nope. You know what? 2019 LSU.
Nope. 2019 LSU was not it. They were, hang on, I'll tell you. Hang on. 2019 LSU, I think, was 5th or 6th. Let's see. They were 6th.
6th. They were close. So would 2013 Florida State?
Ding, ding, ding.
There we go.
Auburn and Florida State.
Oh, I was like, you know what? I might.
Everybody else was at least in the top 7 since 2004. So I guess 20 full seasons plus COVID is kind of what he was measuring.
Well, all it takes is a Heisman-winning quarterback that also ends up being the first overall pick in the draft. That's all it takes.
And the Outland Trophy winner in the middle of the defensive line. Yeah, Nick Fairley. And he went, he was like 7th or 8th in the draft, right?
He might have been top 5 because he was picked by the Lions, who
I can't remember where he was picked. But
a franchise again, really good at picking in the top 5.
Yeah, you have the Heisman winner and the Outland winner. That's not bad.
Yeah, and 2 top 10 picks, maybe top 5. I remember where Fairley was picked.
So yeah, again, what does it tell you? It tells you that despite there being a lot of rolling of the dice with the entire poll, more often than not, you pretty much know the select few that really can contend. And I suppose that's why so many fans just basically say, why are we going to expand the playoff? They can't all win. Well, once you're in a playoff, you might. Again, how many of you thought that the 9-7 Giants would beat the New England Patriots 15 years ago? or whatever, however many. That was it, 15? Maybe not quite that. Longer than that.
That's 18.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
By the way, real quick aside, apropos of absolutely nothing. Did you see that Eli Manning is is part of the newest group of members at Augusta National?
Eli Manning
Eli
is?
Manning.
Really?
Way to go, Eli.
Yeah, attaboy.
That's awesome. I call him up. I don't know him, but give me some tickets.
Lucking out into more wins than any quarterback in the history of football.
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, way to go, Eli. So it just tells you that, the top 7, and this year, if you look at the coaches poll at least, I think any of those 7 can definitely win. But I think LSU, a lot of people think LSU can win the championship, and they aren't. So, Mike, they bucked the trend. Where will LSU be? And again, Brett was referencing the AP poll, so we don't yet know what that looks like. But I'll be honest with you. Let's just take the top 10. Right now we've got Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Clemson, Oregon, Bama, LSU, Miami. That's your top 10. And then if you look at the next 5, which is Arizona State, Illinois, Carolina, Michigan, Mississippi, do we really believe that the AP poll is going to have any one of those 5 replacing any one of the first 10?
No, I don't think so.
I don't.
Unless somebody's just, it would take a lot of bodies, not just somebody. It would take a lot of people to be able to vote them past like Miami, right?
Could Illinois get some votes?
I'll say Illinois could get some votes.
Michigan?
I don't know if they get enough of them. There is a lot of groupthink when it comes to the AP poll, even though I think Illinois is a better team than Miami coming into this year. I think personally, probably.
I think Miami's
Illinois.
the one. Terry and I the other day had 2. We had who do we think was too high? Who do we think was too low? I thought Miami was too high.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Tennessee was too low. And I don't know that I would replace them.
I don't know if I rank Tennessee this year.
I just think Tennessee is better than people think they are, and I don't think Tennessee is worse than Florida or Mississippi.
I would certainly be one of those people.
But we'll see. All right, today's start bench drop has to do with this poll. I call it sort of a second place start bench drop, but not really. But these 3 schools, as voted upon by the coaches, are all second in their conference based on the vote. That's it.
Just by the SIDs.
Yeah, right. Or whomever they had, an intern, somebody.
Yeah.
So you're starting benching dropping in alphabetical order. Georgia, Miami, Penn State, all, as voted upon by coaches, are the second best vote getter in their respective conference. And with all due respect to the Big 12, I had to go all the way down to K-State at number 20, so I didn't do a Big 12.
The fun thing with the Big 12 is just trying to pick a winner.
Yeah.
Or pick your top 5 in the Big 12, and more than likely, you might not get more than one correct in terms of them being in the top 5.
Yeah, based on the vote, Arizona State's way up there. Then you go down to K-State, Arizona State 11, K-State 20, Iowa State 21, BYU 23, Texas Tech 24. And, the way people are talking about Texas Tech.
That's the best roster Texas Tech's ever bought.
Yeah. But is it the best they've ever had?
In terms of being
Patrick Mahomes ain't walking through that door.
In terms of being a complete roster, yes. But obviously, Baron Morton is not Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes didn't have any other Patrick Mahomes.
Didn't our boy Cliff Kingsbury play there too?
He did. Cliff Kingsbury, followed by Graham Harrell.
Graham Harrell was pretty good in college.
Yeah, the Mike Leach era.
The Mike Leach, man, they whipped it around.
Good.
Yeah,
they did. They broke records.
They did. That was fun.
It was a whole lot of Sonny Cumbie, I think, was before Cliff Kingsbury too. So then, I think that's 2 coaches.
Yeah. So
back to back, and then Graham Harrell.
Start bench drop.
He's coaching now too.
Today, Georgia, Miami, Penn State, and basically what we're asking is, just who's the best of those. And here's the funny thing. Again, based on some of the conversation I heard this morning, the prevailing feeling right now is that Georgia will be favored in every game they play. Newsflash: Georgia plays Texas in Athens, but Texas is voted ahead of Georgia. So and I believe Alabama also will be in Athens.
Mm-hmm. They have a good schedule break. They really did. All the tough games are at home.
Well, and last year they split those 2. And they really, I don't know if you agree with me or not. Even though the first half was a debacle, Georgia really still should have beaten Alabama.
Well, if they could have tackled Ryan Williams in that last drive.
The thing is, they took the lead. After just a dreadful first half.
That offense just did themselves no favors for so much of the season.
Right.
That offense was so dreadful in that half. I don't know if that offense for Georgia put together a 4-quarter game of competent football against an SEC opponent all year.
Probably not. And yet, they won the
They still won the SEC.
Conference. That's just it. That's what's crazy.
They Eli Manning themselves into an SEC
crazy
championship.
about where Georgia is. And I appreciate why Texas is being picked where Texas is. I will admit I've come around to a large degree on Sark. I did not have huge faith in him. I still think that Texas, here's the thing, you have to keep doing it. And they haven't done that. You know, Alabama kept doing it. With Kirby, Georgia keeps doing it.
How many years does it take?
Well, for one thing,
because they were in the playoff twice now.
You're right, and
the semifinal at that.
Yeah,
2 straight years.
I'd like to see that team. Doesn't matter that much anymore, I suppose. I'd like to see that team win the Southeastern Conference. I think that
doable.
I think that matters.
Yeah.
How much? That's more debatable. Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten last year.
It didn't matter.
And we saw Bama a few years back not win the SEC and win a national title.
They've done that
maybe twice.
Once.
No, I think it's just once, right?
Yeah, with the LSU one, where they get their rematch against LSU in the BCS title game.
But again, you don't have to do it, but it helps. So that's all. But I appreciate. I mean, look, for one thing, he has built fantastic lines of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that defense is really good. And I think that was one of Texas's biggest problems during all those years when they were losing 4 and 5 games. Like you got at some point you got to tackle people.
Yeah.
You know.
And they might have the best player in college football in that linebacking room.
So he knows he knew in his time in the SEC what he's going to have to do to steer Texas into the Southeastern Conference. So start bench drop.
Steer them. I see what you see what you did
nope,
there.
didn't mean to go there.
I see what you did there.
Start bench drop. Georgia, Miami, Penn State. Based on this year's polls, each of them the second best vote getter in their respective conference. But which one do you think is the best? Might not be as hard for some people. Lulu Kesson on the other side of the break. She, like Elijah, down at media availability today as August camp rolls on for Gamecock football. Get a little off-season hoops in with Lulu as well. You're listening to the postgame show.
107.5 The Game in Columbia. 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free.
Kato's Power Equipment ready to keep you happy in your yard. How? By making sure that you have the absolute best when it comes to power equipment, whether it's push mowers, walk-behinds, riding mowers, those really cool ones that look like something out of Star Wars. You can even rent things now. Maybe you want to try some of their new battery-powered things out and just see if it's right for you. They are renting more equipment than ever before, and that's really popular, according to what Ben and Matt have been telling me. I often liken it to going to a tailor for your clothes. You can buy off the rack at a big box store for your clothes, right? But when you go to the tailor, you get that extra touch that's just right, same exact kind of service when you go down to Kato's. I love what they've done for me in terms of all my Toro equipment. I'm telling you, it makes my yard work that much more fun. Whether you do it for yourself, whether you do it for a living, see Kato's for great sales, service, and advice. 4012 West Beltline Boulevard, and always online at katospowerequipment.com.
Take advantage of Zero Res Carpet Cleaning's back-to-school BOGO sale. For a limited time, get 2 rooms cleaned plus 2 additional rooms cleaned for free. Just use promo code BOGO, B-O-G-O, when scheduling online at ZeroResColumbia.com.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled, too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck, the insurance company may already have a plan for you. Based on what I see every day, it's not to pay you what you truly deserve. I'm Michael Jeffcoat. Too often, insurance companies jerk good people around, but that's what I'm here for. At the Jeffcoat firm, we fight to get injured people paid what they should get paid. Call Jeffcoat, all hours, every day, 803-200-2000.
Responsible attorney Michael Jeffcoat, 1333 Main Street, Columbia.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, and because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's part sports. We have football on the brain. Part pop culture. Dennis Leary. True or false? You refuse to wear a glove with Mickey Mantle's signature on it for the movie The Sandlot.
The Red Sox blood, the Brewers blood, they run deep.
And in the best celebrity interviews. Robert De Niro here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Just got over a 24-hour virus.
The antidote is to appear on The Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. I would have just done it earlier.
And you've got The Rich Eisen Show podcast. There is a medicinal quality to appearing on this program. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
3:33 here on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome back in. Terry is away for a few days. Elijah Campbell is kind enough to volunteer his services.
Who?
Do we have that? Well, okay, we'll get it later. Who? I think it's still over there somewhere.
Oh, Snoop Dogg?
But, Jay Phillips here. Yeah, hey, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
And it's good to have Lulu Kesson on the program. She is on the Gamecock beat for the Greenville News, like Elijah, down covering defensive availability today, offensive yesterday. Lulu, good to have you back. How are you?
Hey, guys, I'm good. Thanks for having me, as always.
You bet. I asked Elijah yesterday about yesterday in a funny way. Like, does Boaz Stanley, see? I mean, he just seems like the classic kind of just big, big and country boy. Does he fit that description in terms of just what you want from a big offensive lineman? What would you say to that?
Yeah, totally. Very goofy, very personable. Definitely fits kind of what you would imagine in your head for the position, for sure.
And on top of that, and we were talking about it yesterday, 405 pass opportunities last year for him on the line at Troy. Only 2 sacks allowed and no penalties. That's extraordinary, Lulu, for what they're looking for to have him do up front.
Absolutely, and I think the no penalties stands out because I think South Carolina was pretty undisciplined last year, and that was a huge issue that Shane Beamer kept sort of harping on. So not only bringing in somebody who has the ability to protect as well as he does, but do it, legally and cleanly is just a huge plus.
And then in terms of blocking too, Lulu, that's the one thing I think that can keep this offense from kind of cracking top 20 potential. And it's not just the offensive line. That's one whole thing in itself too. But Shane mentioned so many times last year that the perimeter blocking, not acceptable enough. And the one thing I did enjoy hearing yesterday were the tight ends that came in the room, Michael Smith and Jordan Dingle, seemingly take pride in the ability to block. When it comes to the extra perimeter blocking, what's kind of the feel that you have on how that might elevate kind of everybody else at the other skill positions?
Yeah, you're right. And I definitely think it was something that Shane maybe said like 4 weeks straight. It was definitely like a very, very early frustration, especially in the Old Dominion game. And I think having sort of an undersized receiver like Mazio Bennett have such a concrete understanding of the, one, how to block on the perimeter, but also the importance of it. As he was sort of saying, teaching that younger group, because obviously there's a ton of freshman receivers that are really talented. So having that concrete understanding, week 0, week 1, right now, how many weeks until the season starts is huge, because I agree that it's going to be sort of a critical part of how good can the South Carolina offense be.
It's almost time for the 0th week of the season. Right?
0th, yes.
The 0th week.
That's how numbers work.
If you didn't hear Elijah and I come up with that last season, Lulu, we did, because we think with the term week 0 is horrible, and so we made it even dumber by saying it's the 0th week, just in the hopes that would catch on. So if you feel free to use that to just further our point, we really...
It might be AP approved by the time we get to week 0, the 0th week of the season.
We'd really appreciate that. Lulu Kesson is with us from the Greenville News. The tight ends were also part of yesterday's rotation before we come around to the defense. And, again, to give Elijah his props, Josh Simon last year, Elijah nicknamed the easy button, and he certainly became that for Lenoris and for the offense. Is there another easy button in that core? Do they take that upon themselves to share the responsibility? What's the feeling right now as a guy like that was so productive has to be replaced?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think, it's tricky in these early press conferences to really know what's the truth and what's kind of just talk. But I do think that overall the tight ends are going to do it by committee. I think that they're aware that not one person, it's not going to be a battle to be the one and only person that's going to replace what Josh Simon did last year. But I do think that having Michael Smith return with experience is huge, and then bringing in someone like Jordan Dingle, who knows what SEC football looks like, who can, be productive against an SEC defense. Like, having that, although, yes, Josh Simon, huge loss, I think that even just in those two alone, it's a good sign for what could potentially even attempt to mirror the productivity that Simon had.
And with the running back room, too, I think the team is probably should be, operating under the assumption Rasul Faison's not going to play. And if he's ruled eligible, then that's great for everyone involved. But if the Tez Walker thing at North Carolina taught us anything, it's you might not know until 4 weeks into the season. So assuming Rasul Faison isn't eligible to play, who do you kind of expect to be that leading ball carrier for that running back room?
Mm-hmm. I have to say Attaway right now, speaking just solely on the fact that he has a lot of college snaps under his belt. He was good for South Carolina last year. Obviously, he had a chance to kind of have this breakout game in the Citrus Bowl when Rocket didn't play. And I don't want to sit here and say, oh, he's not dependable, but, I just think that there needs to be a little bit. I need to see him in the starring role a little bit more to trust his abilities. He's obviously kind of on the older side, and that might not necessarily be an advantage, which is crazy to think that being 25 can hurt you in some ways. But overall, I expect Shane to kind of look at Attaway, especially because he's very big on his leadership off the field, and that plays a huge role. And Shane always seems to mention Jordan Howell in these conversations as well, and has even last year when Rocket was involved. So I expect it to mainly be Oscar Attaway, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shane tries to do it with the sort of by committee, even though obviously there's not a ton of depth there.
Lulu, before we let you go, I want to switch you over to women's basketball. The schedule release yesterday, and one date that stood out above any other, and it might have anyway, is Carolina's trip to Baton Rouge. But it's going to be on a Saturday. Tell me what more you've learned about that. I mean, clearly that's a decision from the ESPN folks to showcase that game. But what more have you learned about that and when it might be played in terms of tip time?
Yeah, well, I know that South Carolina women's basketball, at least since Diana has been the SID, has never played on a Saturday before. So it's quite new, obviously. It's a weird day. it's tricky. It's when the UConn game was last year, and that's when South Carolina took a little bit of a fall. They had lost to Texas the weekend before and then fell to UConn, obviously, in embarrassing fashion. I expect it to be like a noon tip, ABC, Rebecca Lobo, Ryan Rucco, the whole gang out there. I imagine that College Game Day will be there as well. I think people are going to try to string along the full Wiley storyline as best they can. And, hey, it makes sense. It's the story there. It's her first time playing her former team. But I'm curious to see how much each side is willing to give with pre-taped content and sort of what full Wiley's willing to talk about when it comes to her feelings on transferring and everything, because she seemingly still has a really great relationship with the girls. Obviously, she was just with Tanaya Latson doing unrivaled stuff. So I'm curious to see what it all plays out, but I expect sort of a daytime, primetime game.
All right, out of all the games on the SEC slate, outside of LSU and Texas, the one most intriguing to Lulu Kesson is
Kentucky, March 1st. I think that, the last SEC games are always difficult. South Carolina did well with Kentucky last year. You could throw in the away game with Oklahoma, but there's something about this Kentucky team. I think Kenny is a really, really, really good X's and O's coach. So I think it could be difficult. You got to end the season away on a high note. It's not going to be easy.
All right, last thing for you. Again, as you know, Elijah has very kindly volunteered his services. I'm paying him in beer. I'm getting him on Friday a case of beer.
You run a hard bargain, Jay Phillips.
Do you have any suggestions? Again, I told him, don't just jump into something right now. We got today and tomorrow, but any suggestions for Elijah in terms, and it could be 4 6-packs, 2 12s, a case. I told him 24 singles if he wants. You got any suggestions?
Ooh. On Friday, someone gave me a 6-pack of Blue Moon for my birthday, and it was like a key to my heart. I think he should balance it. If you're an IPA guy, try to do something like a hazy IPA. You can mix in maybe a lighter, fruitier beer. I know maybe like a Mexican lager or something like that. But a variety is always good. You got to balance out because sometimes you want a lighter beer. Sometimes you're good for like one solid IPA.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
I gave people that advice last year. People were hitting me up with like IPAs for game day, and I was like, "Look, man." And they were saying, how about hazy little thing? It's great. Sierra Nevada. I'm like, yeah, except that it's like 7%, and that'll catch up with you. You need to get a session IPA, a little variety, little 4.5%.
You can't crush those.
You can't. You feel like you can because they're very tasty.
They're very good.
But that 7%, it catches up.
Could be a dangerous game.
Yeah. Lulu, good advice and great reporting as always. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you. You guys rule. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Have a good
you.
rest of your day.
That is Lulu Kesson. That's how you find her, LULUKESIN, or catch her work at the Greenville News. She's good.
Does a fantastic job.
Yeah, she's fun. She's fun. All right, lots more to do here as the post-game show rolls on.
107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.5 The Game in Florence, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
The Game Summer Golf Classic is Friday, August 22nd at Charwood Golf Club. Tee time is 9 a.m. Registration starts at 7:30. Mimosa bar provided by Saki's Wine and Spirits. Onion sausage for breakfast and Firehouse subs for lunch. And oh yeah, we have prizes. And the golf gun is back again. $400 a team. Call 803-755-2000 and press number 2 to sign up.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute. It was never funny, but I thought it was rather harmless last week when someone threw an adult toy on the court during a WNBA game in Atlanta. But now it's happened twice more with 2 other reported incidents. It's time to stop now, whether this is just copycatting or a more ignorant, sexist statement. It's not clever, it's not funny, and most importantly, throwing anything on the court is not safe for the players. I'm Andrew Bogish.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch-off game from the South Carolina Education Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic Park. For game odds and details, visit sceducationlottery.com or the Players Club app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure. Firehouse Subs, hook and ladder jingle, take one.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Warm that smoky turkey, that thin sliced honey.
Guys, this is a 30-second ad. You gotta sing faster.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Melty cheese and toast spread, mustard, mayo, purpose bread, lettuce, green, and onion. The sandwich is too big for the song. It's too big.
The Hook and Ladder, available only at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
Welcome back in. Postgame Show rolling on. Sorry, I'm delayed here. I'm trying to throw out a tweet, and I keep hitting the wrong button.
Like a false start.
Well, I don't know how Twitter works.
You've only been using it for how long?
According to Twitter, 2009.
Oh, longer than me.
According to Twitter.
2011 for your boy.
Do I trust Twitter anymore? I don't know.
I had my Twitterversary last month. Yeah. My Twitter is now 14 years old.
Let's see.
It's in high school.
According to Twitter,
grow up so fast.
Yours truly joined in April of 2009.
Ooh.
That's what Twitter says right there. Joined April 2009.
Congrats on being like a junior in high school. Jay's Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say Jay was not a junior in high school.
Ironically enough, that was when I did join.
Yeah?
Was my junior year of high school, the summer before my junior year of high school.
Yeah, don't really. I'm trying to even think of something that is even moderately equivalent to Twitter when I was a junior in high school. And I guess I could yell real loud.
Yeah, into a void, which sometimes I guess
it's about it
is. I mean, there are some parallels.
I was the sports editor of my high school newspaper. I was reaching a wider audience than the average person at the time. Does that count?
It's a platform.
Okay. I actually did that for a couple of years.
You would have if you would have kept that same job like 20 years later.
Yeah.
You would have been posting.
No, it was fun. It was fun. I got into it one time with our faculty advisor because the
faculty advisor didn't think the NFL needed a developmental league.
Right, exactly. Our softball team, on which my high school girlfriend played, by the way.
Okay.
Was not what you would call good. in this particular spring.
So bad.
And I didn't write a piece that was like scathing, but I have to be honest, it was factual in the sense that they were not good.
Ooh, did you dig up the stats?
And it didn't get well. So we're in the meeting, right? Like this is like before, like the layout meeting, like before it goes to press. And the faculty advisor was also my English teacher. She was a wonderful lady. Her name was Martha Parker. Rest in peace. She was great. As a teacher, but we got into it, and I was like, hey, aren't you teaching us that eventually we might be doing this one day
for a living?
And she's like, well, you can't say it this way because we have alumni that read this and their parents read it. I'm like, do you think their parents don't know how they play?
They're there.
I mean, when we started kind of like, I got you know how I can get a little, because I'm using fact. Like I base my opinions on, I'm like, I'm not making it up, man.
You saw the same thing everybody else did.
I was like, and she's like, well, you're not at all their games. I was like, no, I'm not at all their games. I play baseball. I can't be at all their games, but I get feedback and I know what their record is. And, we
hit her with the Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are?
Basically. And, but I do remember we met somewhere in the middle, I suppose. Maybe I softened some of and I wish I had I'm sure there's an archived copy of it somewhere, but she's like, you can't say it this way. I was like, why not?
Why not?
And I think it made a few of my fellow students and student writers a little uncomfortable.
Probably.
But I was okay with it. I was like, again, what if I go do this for a living one day? Do you not want me to be factual?
Like this is practice for a future job.
And I think her point was you can be factual without. And I didn't say like this team sucks. And like I said, the girl I was dating in high school was on the team. I mean, I'm not gonna.
How did she feel about it?
I think she understood that I was doing my job, or so I thought.
You think the call to Miss Martha was coming from inside the house?
She didn't break up with me, so I guess there's that.
She didn't break up with you at that time.
At that time, that came later.
The mental notes
that came later.
The mental notes were probably being jogged.
That was more of a college thing. Once it was time for college, it was like, see ya.
She's like,
nice girl.
See ya. But I remember what she wrote about me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know if I said anything about her. I can't remember. Might have left her out. Anyway, start bench drop today. Georgia, Miami, Penn State, each of them the second best vote getters, if you will, in the new coaches poll. Does that mean they're the second best teams in their conference? Who you got, though? Queen City Spurs hit me and just says Georgia. Anyone else in this list? Right, so Georgia is starting, and everybody else doesn't matter. And we had a few of
everybody.
Again, we had a trivia question earlier that I got courtesy of Brett McMurphy. Only twice. We've given the answer now, but if you didn't hear it and you want to think about it, I'll give you the answer again at the top of the hour. Only twice since 2004 has the eventual college football national champion not been ranked in the top 7 of the preseason poll. Only twice has the eventual national champion not been ranked in the preseason top 7, going back to 2004. So if you want to think about that one, we'll give you the answer top of the hour. The Power 4 just got more powerful. We'll tell you why when the postgame show returns.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Look, low testosterone is a thing. You might want to deny it, pretend it's not happening. Oh, it's just some goober telling me about it on commercials. But it's real for guys if you're getting older. Whether it's you don't sleep the way you used to, you can't lift the way you used to at the gym, you don't recover from exercise like you used to, you can't remember stuff anymore.
From the
you have a lack of drive in life, whether it's personal, professional, sexual, whatever. It's just things aren't the same anymore.
Right, let's try this
Call
again.
the Men's Clinic of South Carolina, 803-875-MENS. Set up a free consultation with Dr. Dan and his staff. Tell them your story. If they think it could be low T, they'll do some lab work. If it comes back low testosterone, they will then put you on a program specifically designed for you to get you back to feeling like you again. Just make the call. 803-875-MENS. It's free. It's confidential. Tell them your story. They might be able to help you get back to being you again. Men's Clinic of South Carolina.
Football season is nearly here, and so is your appetite. Score big at your tailgate with Substation 2 USC. Pile on the flavor with their catering boxes, 3-foot and even 6-foot party subs. Whether you're feeding 5 or 50, Substation 2 has got you covered from their Main Street store right by the USC campus. Win your tailgate with Substation USC, where game days taste better. Visit substationusc.com.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostettler-Brown. Do you know the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust? The difference could easily save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term care costs. Visit lawyerlisa.com to schedule a consultation today.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Daddy, you need a trust.
It's time for a new school year. Get half off tuition at Heritage Christian Academy in Lexington, the area's longest running private school, providing students with a Christian education and biblical worldview. Visit 1075thegame.com now to get half off tuition at Heritage Christian Academy.
Average Amy's. Our coffee has caffeine and our muffins are cooked.
You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Cumulus Digital outperforms industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips for the Men's Clinic. Not feeling like yourself as you get a little older? You're wondering why? Don't wait for it to change or go away. Instead, see Dr. Dan Bognight and his team at the Men's Clinic. You'll have a one-on-one consultation that will get to the root of the issue and get you back to feeling like you used to. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all treatment at the Men's Clinic. Get a free consultation. Schedule one at 803-875-MENS and learn more online at themensclinicsc.com.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The postgame show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
Four o'clock on this Wednesday. Welcome back into the postgame show. Jay Phillips. Elijah Campbell is next to me, back in the saddle for a couple of days. Again, volunteering quite kindly to render his services for the rest of the week while Terry Ford is away on a little holiday with the family.
Well, now we know why. Now the public knows what my price is for appearances.
Beer.
Yes.
Elijah, yes. On a Friday. So today and tomorrow, we're discussing it on air, off air. He already jumped at a couple of things off air. And I was like, well, hold on. It's going to be IPAs. Although Lulu's point about mixing in a little something is well taken.
It is.
And again, we had somebody yesterday suggest that I buy you a keg of Leinenkugel, a fine Wisconsin-based beer. More of a lager, I believe, though.
Yeah, I can do lagers.
I can do them.
Variety.
It's funny, and look, Budweiser's a fine beer, but I was talking to a bartender the other night. We were getting pizza, and I was like, I can't even think of the last time I've had just a regular Budweiser because I've turned into just such an IPA guy that I just can't even remember. And again, Budweiser's fine product. I got no beef with Budweiser, but
I just drank so much Budweiser when I was like 19, 20 years old that I think I burnt myself out on it.
I drink plenty of Anheuser-Busch products now. They're just, Wicked Weed or Elysian from Seattle. They bought that.
They've branched out and bought a lot of the crap.
Goose Island from Chicago they bought.
I love Goose Island.
Yeah.
First IPA I ever had.
Goose Island IPA's fantastic, man.
Got a good recommendation on our text line, our Firehouse Subs text line. Jacob sends a picture of a can of Wild Leap, and it's their Chance IPA.
Okay. Where's that from? Do we know? Do you see a city?
I can't remember where it's from, but I have tried it before because the can is very memorable.
Okay.
It's like a big old red bison on it.
All right.
And I have
I'm
had
always
it before.
looking for new
had
ones,
this
man.
winter. Had it this winter.
Okay.
It was really good.
I'm always looking for new ones, especially if anybody ever wants to give me a suggestion, I'll take it. But West Coast, I used to have a running gag with my friend Eric Kimry, hey, the Pioneer, if it makes me sneeze, that's the kind of IPA I'm looking for.
You want to be allergic to the beer.
Yeah, I want it to be so piney and hoppy that it makes me sneeze.
I do love hops.
I do. I mean, but West Coast, again, I like hazies. I got no beef with, plenty of hazies that I like. But I'm a West Coast IPA kind of guy.
I like it.
So
I do make myself sound like McLovin in Superbad whenever he's trying to buy beer and he's trying to convince the cashier that he is indeed 23, right. A 23-year-old organ donor from Hawaii named McLovin. He's like, I heard they had more hops to it. That's how I feel like I sound sometimes, but I do love a really hoppy beer.
Superbad's a great movie.
Oh, my God. There may be 2 or 3 movies on the planet I think I could quote from beginning to end,
it's fun.
And Superbad is one of them.
Michael and I, Haney and I, when we first started this show, a lot of the bumps we had were from the Superbad soundtrack.
Oh,
Over time, it just morphed into other stuff, but that 70s kind of funk, we had a lot of that.
Got confirmation, Wild Leap from LaGrange, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Small town Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, midtown Georgia. LaGrange is not tiny.
Right.
But it's not big.
It's not Atlanta.
Well, nothing's Atlanta. By the way, you Gamecock Club folks, there's a pregame at Stats, downtown Atlanta, before the Virginia Tech game. Highly recommend.
Dude, that place rules.
Yeah,
Went twice.
They make
twice
their own
over
beer.
there.
They make their own beer. It's a 10-minute walk, stroll.
Oh yeah.
To the stadium.
And you can hit it up if you hit up the College Football Hall of Fame first. I would recommend making a day out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Get there early.
Yep.
Go to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Walk over to Stats, then walk to the stadium.
Yep. It's right there.
There you go.
It's
You're
very,
welcome.
very easy to
The
get
Atlanta game day tip.
Nice.
There you go.
And if you have time, ride the Ferris wheel across the street in the park.
I have ridden that before.
Yeah. I have not ridden it.
Beautiful view.
I've ridden Ferris wheels, just not that one. I like Ferris wheels.
Beautiful view of downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
And the sports bar at the hotel.
Yeah, the Omni.
What was your buddy's name?
Brandon.
Yeah, that was
We
fun.
loved it.
Yeah.
We loved it.
He's
gone back.
I went to the soccer game that Wednesday night. Elijah met his buddy Brandon, who had just moved back to Atlanta from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And Stats technically closed at 10, but I got there at 9:45, and they were like, yeah, you can't come in. So I had to text Elijah. I was like, because they were in Stats. I was like, y'all got to come out and come meet me at the other bar because
we closed it down.
Because they won't.
We closed it
They're
down.
not going to let me in. I was just standing there like a chump.
Ha.
Right. I just want to come in for a beer. Nope. Sorry, sir. Start bench drop, Georgia, Miami, Penn State, second place vote getters based on the coaches poll. And yet, again, some of the irony here, Georgia may be favored in every game they play since Alabama and Texas both will be at Sanford Stadium. Miami's a top 10 team. Penn State getting a lot of national title love from a lot of folks. I think all these teams are good. Miami, again, might be a little bit too high, and I certainly think that Miami is the second best team in the ACC. I think Clemson is considerably farther along than Miami is, and I don't even know.
They're in two different stratospheres to me.
SMU, I think, is what, 15th or 16th in the poll. I feel like SMU is going to be one of those teams that's not ranked at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think they'll regress a little bit.
But does North Carolina make a move? How good is Virginia Tech? We're going to see when they play Carolina.
Honestly, I think out of North Carolina, SMU, Virginia Tech has the higher ceiling.
And yet they open with two SEC schools, neutral and home. So they want a little revenge on Virginia Tech, or on Vanderbilt, excuse me. And they're going to want to beat Shane Beamer.
They absolutely are. I mean, if you look at it, Preston and I talked about it at some point this week. If you're Virginia Tech and you're looking at this game, or they're your first two games of the season, the opportunity you have, like those are college football playoff resume builders. Now, you never thought you'd hear somebody refer to a Vanderbilt game like that, but if you go 2-0 against the SEC and then you end up participating in your league title game and you lose to a team like Clemson, who, let's just say Clemson in theory has 1 or 2 losses, then maybe you put yourself in a position where you are in consideration at that point.
I agree with you. I'll be stunned is too strong, but I'll pull down 1 degree or so from stunned. But so whatever that is, I'll be that if Clemson isn't 8-0 in the ACC.
Oh, same. Yeah. I mean, I was saying this morning that if we were doing overrated, underrated on the coaches poll, Clemson being at 6 is very underrated. I think I'd put him at 3. I might
replace
one of the 3 best teams.
I might replace Penn State with Clemson in where they are. And I'm not sure. Notre Dame's schedule's hard.
It's very hard. It is very difficult, especially if Southern Cal's any good this year. Which they can be. The roster's not bad. It's just they've underperformed since Caleb Williams left.
I think it was at J.D. Piquel. I was watching this week made mention that there's almost a feeling still around Southern Cal that everybody over there is pointing to next season
as the year.
Yeah, that this year they expect to be a little better, but that they all have kind of set their sights on 26. Like in 26, watch out for us.
Interesting.
Yeah, not this year.
That's the target year.
Yeah, that they have a big class coming in, that they've got some things they're building for portal recruiting, and just watch out for 26.
In an era of portal recruiting and rental teams, it does feel good to hear that a team has a target year.
Yeah. So
that's a classic college football thing.
But think about, I don't know if okay, if that's what people think or that's what they think, I'd be focused on this year too.
Oh, for sure.
Don't let it be a wash.
Especially if you absolutely blow it this year. I mean, I don't think they're going to fire Lincoln Riley unless it is just a disaster.
Yeah, you pull a Florida State, maybe you're in trouble.
Yeah, if you go 2-10, yeah, there'll be some very uncomfortable conversations to be had.
We did throw out that trivia question earlier. Our buddy John has been guessing, so I don't know if he's looked it up yet or not. But we already gave the answer once, but only twice since 2004 has the eventual college football national champion not been ranked in the preseason top 7. Only twice has that champion not been in the preseason top 7. Now, to Elijah's credit, well before I gave the answers, he jumped on the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Auburn 2010, Cam Newton year.
Started 22. They were preseason number 22 in the poll.
And then the other was 2013 Florida State.
And their preseason ranking, I want to say they were number 11 preseason.
So they're the two. And some like some were close. Like LSU was 6th, and I think one of the Florida years they were 6th, and
because John guessed 2006 Florida, and that was a good guess because I want to say they were probably outside the top 5.
I think that team was 6th. I don't know for certain. I go back and I can't just
the crack staff is on it right now.
But I think they were 6th.
Got the interns looking it up.
That's right. They're doing well. And again, start, bench, drop, Georgia, Miami, Penn State. This year's Georgia, Miami, Penn State. Not programs, not history. This year's teams, start, bench, drop, Georgia, Miami, Penn State, as the second best vote getters in their respective leagues by the coaches' vote.
2006 Florida was number 7.
7. Okay, so
in the preseason,
right on the.
They were there.
That's the limit, and that's the line that Brett McMurphy drew. Top 7. So, But he was making the point we're coming
He
at.
could make it a 10 if he wanted to.
Yeah. Well, the point we were coming up with in the context is Brett McMurphy, who's an AP voter, and again, we have the coaches vote right now. Brett is referencing the AP vote, and that first poll will come out next week. But he went ahead and released his ballot, and Andy was questioning him, and Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman this morning were questioning him, and they did get into, hey, you don't have South Carolina on here. Why not? And Brett got into, do y'all know how many didn't finish in the top 20? And last year it was 12 didn't. So 13 did, 12 didn't. So basically a 50-50 crapshoot. And he said, so, hey, good luck, South Carolina. You got a chance of keeping yourself in there, or you're going to fall out. We'll see. But then he got into, and then that's when he came up with the other one. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Because, that Auburn team, they kind of snuck up on people, man. And then they're like, who's this? Oh, wait, that's the guy that Urban Meyer had to kick out of Florida.
Right. That's what he was known of
That's what it was,
The guy who bought the stolen laptop.
And then FSU, and again, what do those two schools have in common? A Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, man.
Well, when in hindsight, like looking at it, like you think Cam Newton, okay, but no one knew Cam Newton was going to be what Cam Newton was.
No.
You want to take a wild guess at who the leading pass catcher was on that team?
I'm not going to remember.
Now, there's two things here. I want to say this name. You're going to tell me if this is actually the leading receiver.
No, you're not making up a name. This isn't a Pascal Siakam moment, is it?
Is it Latrell Williams or Darvin Adams?
Darvin Adams sounds right, but I'm going to say Latrell Williams.
Latrell Williams is completely made up. I made up that name 6 seconds ago.
Darvin Adams.
Darvin Adams was the leading receiver.
When was Michael Dyer at Auburn?
He was on that team.
Okay. He was good.
His knee didn't touch the ground.
Yeah.
That was the reason why they won that game.
Darvin Adams. That mad Cam. Yeah, we saw him twice.
The only team that got to see him twice. The only team with the pleasure of getting to face 2010 Cam Newton twice.
That was rough. All right, well,
congratulations.
Come back on the other side. Again, as I mentioned to you, the Power 4 conferences have technically just been made more powerful. Why? How? We'll explain when the postgame show returns.
107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.5 The Game in Florence, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network. When Carolina head football coach Shane Beamer talks.
Just so blessed to be able to be a part of this rivalry.
You hear it here.
So much respect for Clemson. That was a great college football game.
Because it's always Gamecock season on The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Rapid Radio
radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
Hendrick.
Love Chevrolet and Love GMC are now Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC, part of Hendrick Automotive Group. Buy now and make no payments for 4 months at the all-new Hendrick Chevrolet and Hendrick GMC in Columbia. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Hey, y'all, Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Van City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. All kinds of fans at Dan's Fan City, big to small and quiet, quality fans. They have accessories and light kits, fan blades, and more. Stop by and see them soon, Harbison Boulevard next to Total Wine, or call Dan's Fan City, 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Calling all Gamecock fans, it's the return of the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing. Put on your Garnet and Black and head out to Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th for this free event featuring Gamecock Central. The festivities start at 5 p.m. and include a food menu inspired by all your tailgate favorites with live music from Ryan Trotty beginning at 6. So come out for the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th from 5 to 10, and we'll see you there.
It's time for a new school year. Get half off tuition at Heritage Christian Academy in Lexington, the area's longest running private school, providing students with a Christian education and biblical worldview. Visit 1075thegame.com now to get half off tuition at Heritage Christian Academy.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina. Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
The Post-Game Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
18 minutes after 4 o'clock on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Jay Phillips, Elijah Campbell with you. Terry has a few days off. Ed Bird at Master Control. And again, thanking Elijah for hanging out. Elijah's payment on Friday. I'll be coming in with a case of beer of Elijah's choice. Now, again, a case, just 24 cans of beer. Could be 24 of one beer. It could be 1 times 24 of a bunch of singles, although that's probably harder for me to do.
Yeah, you'd have
you
to
really don't want to
come up with a way to.
But if you want two 12-packs, 4 6-packs, and if you leave it to me, I'll make sure that you get some good beer. Like for instance, I in thanking Elijah for driving us to Atlanta, I took him brought you a 6-pack of automatic IPA from Creature Comforts in Athens.
Awesome. It was great.
That's my new favorite from over there, man. Creature Comforts
really
is great.
Good, man.
I know a lot of you that may go to Athens from time to time for a variety of reasons have probably been to Creature Comforts, but their beer is fantastic. Tropicalia is their most famous one, I think, these days. But that automatic that's my favorite.
That was really good.
Good, man.
Immediately. That was great. That was a great weekend because he hooked me up with those. And when I got home from dropping you off, I drive back to my house and I walk in the door and there's a 6-pack of Sierra Nevada sitting on the table.
Nice.
As like a welcome home gift. And I was like, oh, this is the best day ever.
Well,
this is great.
I'm glad I could add to that. So Friday, we'll have it. So if y'all have suggestions, Somebody just sent one in from a brewery over in Georgia, speaking of Georgia beers.
Yeah, so Wild Leap.
And speaking of Georgia, Matt just hit us for Start Bench Drop. Says, start Georgia, and he puts in parentheses, the taste in my mouth as I write this, which I know what that means. Bench Penn State, drop Miami. Franklin says, start UGA, and he's basically the same. Bench Penn State, although I think they're massively overrated. Drop the U, just don't trust them to be as good as they should be. That was our thing on Miami last year. It's like, hey, Miami, if you want to be back, you can't lose to Syracuse in football.
Not with a trip to the ACC championship game on the line.
And a playoff bid. I mean, you win that game,
you're in.
You're in. You're going to play
As
for the,
we learned.
Yeah, whether you beat Clemson or not wouldn't have mattered. You're in.
They would have played SMU.
Oh, they would have played SMU. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't Clemson. That's my bad. My bad. You probably keep Clemson out.
Yep, that would have kept them out.
And then those two teams are going, because we saw that the committee was fine with SMU. Because again, the folks in Burbank were like, "Wait, you're putting in Southern Methodist over Alabama? Really? You know what we do here, don't you? We have TV shows."
And that's when I say, you know what we do here? We play football. And we want to reward teams that don't lose to 6-6 teams.
I don't think the Burbank people care as much about that.
Hey, Mr. Burbank, I've assigned them as one person.
Sure.
Hey, Mr. Burbank, have you heard of Vanderbilt? You know Alabama lost to them, right? In football.
Today it was announced that the NCAA's power conferences, Southeastern Conference, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, will have more power, but not necessarily as much as they wanted. They will still need approval from each power conference to make major changes, or they could find a way to lobby a couple of smaller conferences to help them out. The SEC and the other three conferences had been pushing to receive 17% voting share or voting block share on the new board of directors, which is shrinking in size from like 24 to 13 or something like that, which is good. They've also reduced the number of committees at the NCAA level. They've boosted student participation, which is good.
Sounds like those lunches were getting expensive.
Yeah. But instead of 17%, and if you're wondering why 17%, because at 17%, if 3 of the 4 power conferences had voted for something and everyone else voted no, you're at 51%. But instead, they were given 16.1%, meaning you still got to have either unanimity amongst the 4 of you or, again, bring someone else into the fold. Primarily, the board deals with, according to this AP report, finances, litigation, and infractions unrelated to the conditions that were set in the new House settlement. Would you have liked to see them get the power they craved, or is the just below the threshold better for everybody?
Oh, I'll just say this. I'm never going to shed a tear when power conferences don't get power they want. I don't even care if it's good for the sport. I will shed 0 tears. You make all the money.
They do. I don't really care one way or another, to be perfectly honest with you. I get why they wanted it. My frustration, in all seriousness, Elijah, has been that you've been called the Power 4, the Autonomy 4 officially within the NCAA structure for several years now, and you've never really gone and taken advantage of it. So much of this, I'm just going to say, is on you, and now nobody's complaining, I don't think. I know what they wanted, and perhaps this is the right way to go about it in the sense that, hey, we can't give you everything.
Yeah, a compromise.
And you're still going to have, so they still have a greater share, but how different is this? I mean, we're probably not going to find out until such time as there are actually some major votes. And how often do we expect, here's another question I'll have for you, how often do we expect these 4, when it comes to major issues anyway, to have one fall out of lockstep with the other 3?
I don't think there's probably a lot. I mean, between the Power 4, I don't know if there's a lot of trust amongst those 4. And at the same time, like, let's think about it in terms of the scope of what they can and cannot do, right? The certain things in college sports that are the biggest issues, the reason they're issues is because the rules they can place are unenforceable. What type of things can they actually make change on that would significantly impact the real issues at hand that are also enforceable. I don't think there's a pathway to do that because, let's be honest with ourselves, none of them involve the one thing that would keep you from being able to advance past coming back to lawsuit city, if you will, right? And that's like collective bargaining.
Right.
That would solve a lot of like the real issues at hand with collegiate sports. Like, sure, you want to vote on like certain rule changes. I mean, the college football playoff is its own entity. The NCAA really can't do anything in terms of format.
And it's really not even running. And I think with this new settlement, I think we've seen it. Basically, the CFP board, not the committee, not the playoff selection committee, but the board that runs the entire operation is, for all practical purposes, now running all of college football.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
least major college football.
Yeah. So like what the power that the suits have in that boardroom that we're alluding to with the NCAA is significantly less powerful than it was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
By a long shot. This would have been a much bigger deal in 2005 as opposed to 2025. That's really like the big thing here. Like you're going to change rules on what you can and can't give players in terms of snacks.
Right. And again, we had
what
that.
Snacks you can't.
Well, remember
give?
Carolina swimming, and McGee's told us this story. Coach McGee Moody, our great friend, like Carolina one time, to your point, they were like at a big meet, and there was just a lot of downtime between certain heats and things like that, and they had some bagels, and some other, and they had cream cheese. Carolina got popped because they could have the bagels provided, but they couldn't have cream cheese because that was like extra. And it's just like that somebody
came up with that rule.
Came up with that. Like and
took time out of their day.
Right. Like what was the impetus for that? Oh, it's not fair. We can't afford cream cheese. Think about it. You can't afford cream cheese?
That's how Michael Phelps won all those Olympic medals.
I'm not trying to be like a jerk about it.
Cream cheese, buddy.
How many swimmers you got? I mean, how much cream cheese do you need if you couldn't afford the cream chease?
And the fact that's discussed as a rule,
and then there's a penalty for it. Like that's just anyway. The NCAA again eliminated 32% of its committees. Athletes will now have 40 more seats across 30 committees. Think about it. You got rid of a third of your committees, and you still got 30 of them. And the athletes will have voting seats. It says on almost all of them. It does not tell me here which ones they won't have a vote on. Why do I get the feeling that the ones they can't vote on, committee-wise, are the ones that make the biggest decisions?
Yeah, I have a hunch. I have a hunch.
There you go. Greg Sankey said a couple of months ago in terms of why they were seeking 17% because, quote, you can't just have someone walk away at that level among four and everything stops. And yet, unfortunately, it's still going to be the case. Everything could technically stop. Although, again,
I'd ask Greg why not.
But there's now 9 other spots. So there's 13 committees, and they're all going to represent different conferences. And that's how things are going to work. So we'll see. I'm all for streamlining these things.
Oh, yeah.
But
doing it in a way that
almost
makes sense.
to the point of where I'm just ready for the NCAA to go away. All right, start bench drop today, Georgia, Miami, Penn State. We'll come back around to that for you in just a little bit. On the other side, one more bit of business. We'll switch from college football to the NFL, but we'll still mention the folks in Burbank. And if you don't know what we're alluding to, we'll give you the details when the postgame show returns.
107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.5 The Game in Florence, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach, The Game Network. The Game Network keeps growing. Details soon from The Game.
Integrated Media ready to help you out with any and all of your home theater needs. And, of course, the folks at Integrated Media are also in charge of Pro Swing in Chapin, the OG out on Snapdragon Court, and the newest location of Pro Swing, which is in my neck of the woods over in Forest Acres. And right now, they have a great new opportunity for you. Swing for a Cause is what it's called. You can join Pro Swing for this. It's a 2-day charity event supporting Prisma Health Children's Hospital. It's open to all skill levels. It features a round of golf at Pro Swing, followed by a traditional 18-hole, two-person captain's choice at Cobblestone up in Blythewood. This will be August 16 and 17 for the indoor, and then August 21st out at Cobblestone. They'll announce the combined results and the overall champions with a lot of contests, food, prizes, and a whole lot more. Check them out at ProSwingColumbia.com.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
When you need orthopedic or neurosurgical care, you want easy access to experienced physicians at the lowest cost possible. You'll find it all at Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. Whether it's hip, knee, back, neck, shoulder, hand, wrist, or foot pain, our surgeons have the most outpatient surgery center experience in the region. You can trust them to provide excellent care with seamless access, great outcomes, and lower costs to you. Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Kickstart your day at 9 a.m. with your Carolina Pick-Me-Up. Sponsored by South Carolina's largest injury law firm, George Sink Injury Lawyers. If you're injured, call all nines today.
Get George Sink Law Firm on the line. Call 999-999.
Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app. And now, traffic sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive on the Game Network.
From the Wetzel's Automotive Traffic Studios, I'm Elijah Campbell. The few accidents to get to you, they're causing some issues on the roadway, starting with one on Augusta Road at Oak Drive and St. David's Church Road. Fish Hatchery Road near Church Street, Kennerly Road at Broad River Road, Lady Street near Hugh G. Street here downtown, as well as one on Old Orangeburg Road at Old Barnwell Road, Spear Creek Church Road at Wood Creek Farms Road, and lastly, one on Two Notch Road at Alpine Road.
Game Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
"26 minutes in front of 5 o'clock here on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome back in. Jay and Elijah with you. Ed Bird at Master Control. Terry Ford has a few days off. Appreciate Elijah coming in. We're soliciting really IPA recommendations. I mean, other beer recommendations are fine.
Stuff that I have probably not tried yet.
So let me give props to Mark. Mark just hit us a couple minutes ago with a beer from down in Charleston at Charlestown Fermentory, which I've never been to. I've heard of, never been. Variable Star West Coast IPA. Check this out. Beautiful notes of citrus hop character, a touch of balancing pine. Super refreshing and drinkable. I am down with that.
That does sound pretty good.
See, again, that give me that hoppy, piney.
Hoppy, and that checks both Jay Phillips boxes.
So I will try to find some of this in Columbia. I do see that I can get a 4-pack of pint cans for $14 if I go down to Charleston. So if any of you are listening and you're on the way, let's say you're like passing Somerville right now coming home, do me a solid. Turn around.
Turn the car around right now.
And head down to either or any of their 3 locations. Avondale, the Garden, which is, I'm not sure where the Garden one is, or on James Island.
And if you're in Mount Pleasant, too. My man
Thanking
Brent,
you in advance.
My man Brent texts in to the Firehouse Subs text line, and he recommends Two Blokes Brewery in Mount Pleasant.
I know Two Blokes.
Wicked Throat Sharma New England IPA specifically.
Okay.
And I do love a good New England IPA.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here for New England too. I don't want anybody to think I am exclusively a West Coast. I'm just it's my preference. Right?
We have a suggestion of Beck's. Never had Beck's actually.
It's fine. I mean, it's good. It's it's a big beer.
Donald says Coors Light. I would say if I'm ranking domestics, I'm probably Miller Lite then Coors if I'm having to rank them.
Yeah, in terms of light of big giant light beers, yeah, Miller Lite is a lot tastier than Coors Light.
I give it a slight edge. I'll give Coors a little more credit.
Original Coors is actually pretty good. Coors Light, I'm not a fan of.
Not a fan of.
No.
The mountains turning blue doesn't make you feel tingly inside.
Do I need a gimmick on my can?
I do. I am easily wooed by pretty pictures, cool effects. It's like a little magic trick every time you put them in the fridge.
Sure, that's fair.
Do you believe in magic, Jay Phillips?
I do.
That's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you ask me to buy you Coors Light, I'm not going to. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
I'll go ahead and not, a little bit of a spoiler. I don't think I'll be asking for Coors Light.
I mean, look, if you listen, Coors Light, that's a good
good ballpark
game day. Yeah, that's a good game day.
Crushable.
Yeah, because it's only like maybe 4%. It's very drinkable. I won't name him, but I have a friend of mine who could have, back in the day at least, easily put down the whole 12-pack during the whole course of a Carolina football game day.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's one word. Yes. After number 8, like, you need to quit yelling about everything, man.
Every call's a bad call.
Like it'll all work out.
A face mask where? Right. Replay shows handful of face mask.
Sure. Yeah, he didn't.
Helmet ripped off.
By that point, everybody was against him.
I didn't see nothing.
And his team. Yes. All right, so y'all keep sending those in. So speaking of game days and maybe drinking some beers, now you might not do it there, but you might watch on television. ESPN. It was announced officially, I guess, last night, but really making the news this morning. ESPN, so let's just call it, let's be honest here. Disney is acquiring the NFL Network and several other NFL media properties, not all of them, but several of them. And they will include the linear rights to Red Zone. And this deal will see the NFL not be paid, but receive a 10% equity stake in ESPN, not in Disney, but in ESPN. So as ESPN is valued independently within the Disney umbrella, which is in the $30-something billion, basically the NFL is receiving around $3.5 billion of equity in ESPN. They are now an equity owner of 10% of ESPN. The NFL Network will be owned and operated by ESPN. They will control Disney will and ESPN will, that they're linear and digital rights. So anything you now see, as soon as this is approved, by the way, it's not yet been given full, the government approval and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to happen. They'll control all that. NFL Network will then be rolled into the brand new ESPN streaming service, which is simply going to be called ESPN.
Way to keep it simple.
I think that was the right thing to do.
Don't HBO this thing.
A lot of people, HBO came back, right?
Finally,
yeah. That was dumb.
HBO to HBO Max to Max to HBO again.
It's like, nobody had Cinemax. Everybody had HBO. Like, there was like 10% of the people that had HBO had Cinemax. HBO became as big as ESPN in terms of recognition. Like, why? Anyway. Says ESPN's chair, Jimmy Pitaro, quote, by combining these NFL media assets with ESPN's reach and innovation, we're creating a premier destination for football fans. Together, ESPN and the NFL are redefining how fans engage with the game anytime, anywhere. This deal helps fuel ESPN's digital future, laying the foundation for an even more robust offering as we prepare to launch our new direct-to-consumer service. ESPN will get a few more games through the course of the year to broadcast. They will take over the NFL's fantasy football platform and merge it with theirs.
Well, their fantasy update sucks.
NFL's or ESPN's?
ESPN's.
Okay, I don't know.
They updated it. Terrible. Hate it.
Yeah.
Despise it.
Well, you can write the mouse and tell him to fix it, but they're going to control it now, so... I don't know how many people are using the NFL's official fantasy.
Never used it.
I don't know if
it's good or not.
So I did a little FanDuel back in the day. Nah,
a little money to it.
Well, no, honestly, we had like a season long thing here.
Oh, okay.
I did win. I did win a couple of times.
There you go. Attaboy.
I think the money kind of just disappeared. I mean, I think I probably could have cashed out, and I never did. Is it still there?
Left on, yeah. If your account is still active,
I don't know.
Maybe they get it.
I haven't looked in years. By the way, this is what I think is interesting. This is where I want to hit you up with. Disney will now, until this, as long as this deal is in place, they will now have Red Zone. I'm air quoting as a brand. So, and by the way, Scott Hansen is staying. Red Zone, from what I understand, will remain the exact same.
Which was very predictable. Yeah. Anybody that panicked over that.
Yeah, because, again, Red Zone is spectacular. But now they can brand Red Zone with other sports. So will we see... Now, I don't know that it would work. I've seen people say you could do NBA Red Zone. What, can you? I mean, you can, but I mean...
Can, yeah.
But are you going to do that on there's 3 games on a Wednesday. Do I need Red Zone?
Honestly, I'd rather do that than have to illegally stream my games on the West Coast.
Fair. What I'd like to see, though, because they've tried to do one with college, but there's so many games, but have exclusive conference Red Zone. That could be a little better,
Yeah, that'd be more manageable.
Because, sometimes now, I remember they tried one, I think, on ESPN News or ESPNU. And
where they would take you to all the...
But there were too many games. And I'm like, dude.
There's too much happening at once.
The beauty of NFL Red Zone is that there's, at most, in the 1 o'clock window, maybe 8, 10 games? Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, we only have 16 games a week.
Yeah, so it's much more manageable.
Yes. But when you're trying to fit 30 games into, something on whatever they were trying to call it on ESPN back in the day, that doesn't fly. But if you had SEC Red Zone, Big Ten Red Zone, and I guess they don't have the rights to the Big Ten, but SEC Red Zone, ACC Red Zone,
that'd be really cool.
That would work.
Well, if you did Red Zone too with college football, it'd have to be just everything that's on the ESPN family of networks.
Yeah, but there's a lot there, so we'll see. But now the mouse owns the NFL Network, so love it, hate it, it's basically done. Do we have Jay or nay?
We can.
Oh,
yeah.
That's next.
107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.5 The Game in Florence, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
The Game phone lines at 803-404-6100. Sponsored by AAA Heating and Air. Now offering 12-month payment plans on all HVAC or electrical repairs with no credit check. Online at callAAAtoday.com.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. How is it possible that Jerry Jones hasn't spoken to Micah Parsons since Parsons made his trade demand Friday? There's a theory that Jerry picks these fights with his top players for attention and to keep the convo off his mediocre team, but I still lean towards incompetence. I'm Andrew Bogish.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Columbia, don't spend your summer painting year after year. Do what Greg did. He called Rhino Shield.
We live in a beautiful two-story home that was built in 1916. It's really been prepped and painted very, very poorly.
Now, Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
We really had a lot of detail work in the team at Rhino Shield. They spent really a full 4 days just on the prep work, and we were so excited to see that.
Stop painting year after year and get Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
We've gotten numerous compliments, and we've actually even had some of the longer-term residents of our community thank us for protecting the integrity of our home.
Here's owner Dan Hoey.
This offer is limited, so call today at 833-RHINO-99 or visit RhinoShieldCarolina.com. Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on here on a Wednesday. Jay and Elijah with you. The band back together for a few days while Terry is away. Appreciate Elijah's time because, yes, he is. He's not just here. He's still waking up at doing the early game.
That's right.
But I'm paying him in beer.
My feet hit the ground, I'm fine.
I am paying him in beer, and we're taking beer suggestions as well. Also, start bench drop today. Georgia, Miami, Penn State. This year's versions of their football teams, each of them the second best vote getter in the coaches poll. So we're asking you to start bench drop them. Steven just hits us Georgia, start Georgia, bench Penn State, drop Miami. I think everybody said that so far.
That's not mine.
And we've had two that have just said Georgia. They don't even want to worry about the other two, just Georgia. I don't disagree. All right, Ed Bird, cue the band. Time to play a little Jay or Nay.
Oh, man, haven't done one of these in like a month.
Are you helping Ford, or is he doing them all on his own?
Hey, he's doing it on his own now. The training wheels are off.
All right.
Completely.
He's done well.
They're off for one Terry Ford. All right. Jay or nay? With the Boston Red Sox winning 7 straight, they are legitimate American League title contenders.
Jay, I mean, you're getting hot at the right time, and they're starting to round into form. I'd like to think that my daughter was there last night. She had a little part in that for them.
She's part of history.
That's right. No, I think they are absolutely contenders at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they're closing in on the Blue Jays lead. Closing in on a little bit. All right. Jay or nay? Ty Simpson will be good enough to get Alabama into the college football playoff.
I think Alabama might, even with what Texas and Georgia are doing, the more I've been reading about it, Alabama might have the best offensive line in the Southeastern Conference.
They might have the best offensive line in
America. Jay, I think there's a lot, and one of my themes in the next few weeks is going to be a question, really, but it's more of a rhetorical one. Are we sleeping on Alabama? I think Alabama's going to be real good.
The closer we get to the season, I feel like I might be. But at the same time, if Ty Simpson's not any good, then their ceiling might not be as high.
I don't disagree, but I think he's going to be given a lot of tools to work with and have a lot of time to work.
Jay or nay, the Cleveland Browns will have over 2.5 starting quarterbacks this year in terms of starting games. It's a 4-horse race that just added a fifth by signing Tyler Huntley, too.
And I saw Shador will start the game Friday night, I guess, against the Panthers. I know that doesn't count for regular season. Nay. 2, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
2, perhaps.
You don't think it gets that weird
unless, I guess with the caveat of injury. Otherwise, yes. I don't think it gets that weird. 2, I could see. 3, that gets, at that point, something happened.
I love the old saying, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Mathematically incorrect. You have 2. They're just not any good.
That's right.
If you have 4 quarterbacks that aren't any good, you just have 4 quarterbacks that aren't any good.
That's right.
Very unfortunate for you. All right. Jay or nay? Ohio State wins the Big Ten.
Jay. I love Oregon. I don't think it's Penn State. I don't think Penn State will beat Ohio State when they play. And Ohio State doesn't have to see Oregon again this year, right?
I don't believe they do.
I think they, and of course they lost that game last year. Yeah, Ohio State's loaded, man. And I know they're replacing 5 first-round picks and like 15 draft picks overall.
See, that's my concern.
But they're Ohio State, and the thing about Penn State that I told Terry this the other day. Let's just use Jeremiah Smith as an example. That's Penn State's issue. They don't ever have that guy. I'm not even sure that they ever had somebody that we had here like a Alshon Jeffrey type. Like they need somebody that just makes a difference somewhere along the way.
What was Abdul Carter?
Defense, yes. Offense, I'm talking.
What was Saquon Barkley?
Tailback. I'm talking that game-breaking,
like that
stretch the field. I'm going to catch the
wide
football.
Receiver. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't discount those guys. I don't. But Ohio State, Georgia, they've always seemed. Texas has one. Bama's had. Bama's had.
Last year was their tight end though. Tyler Warren.
He was. Yeah, but. Not
otherworldly.
They need that difference-making stretch the field guy.
Then I think to your point too, their coaching staff told you just as much by not retaining hardly any of the receivers on the roster, bringing in a bunch of new ones.
I think they've recognized that too. Plus, and maybe I'm overstating this, but I just sometimes worry: is James Franklin one of those coaches that I talk about that coaches not to lose?
He's going to have to change that. He's going to have to change that significantly because they had Ohio State where they wanted them when they played them.
They don't. They don't finish the job. I don't think they want to. I think we're good. We're good. No, you're not because you know what Ohio State has? dudes that'll go make a difference, and they'll take the risk. You know, I just Penn State. There's something that doesn't click, and it needs to. But yes, Jay, Ohio State wins the Big Ten Conference. Headlines coming up.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
All right, guys, not feeling the way you used to as you get a little bit older. You're not sure what's going on. You're like, man, that didn't used to be a problem. Now it is. Don't be embarrassed. All right? Don't try to wait for it to go away. Go see Dr. Dan Balknight and his team at the Men's Clinic. Get medical expert care. All right? That's what they do. This is what the Men's Clinic is all about. You may say, oh, hey, again, I don't want to talk about that. Or my dad and granddad never went to the doctor, and they always seemed to be fine. Were they? Things have changed. But don't wait for it to go away. You get your mental health back together. If physiologically, get everything working the way you want to, right? Bedroom, boardroom, weight room, wherever room. Men's Clinic ready to help you out. 803-875-MENS. Learn more at themensclinicsc.com. Again, experts in healthcare for men dedicated to making you feel like yourself again. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. See the Men's Clinic.
Sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, where we've been proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle or just need expert service, you'll find it all right here. Shop online anytime at herndonchevy.com or stop by and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile, smile.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
And now, traffic sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive on the Game Network.
From the Wetzel's Automotive Traffic Studios, I'm Elijah Campbell. A few accidents here to get to you. They're causing some issues on the roadways, starting with one on Augusta Road at Oak Drive and St. David's Church Road. That one on Kennerly Road at Broad River Road, Lady Street near Hugh G. Street, Old Orangeburg Road at Old Barnwell Road and Land of Lakes Boulevard. And lastly, one reported about an hour ago on Two Notch Road at Alpine Road.
Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WMKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. checking out what's up in the world of sports.
This just in, breaking news is breaking out everywhere.
The 5 o'clock news on the postgame show.
If you're just joining us, I'm covering some breaking news. You know news is breaking because I'm telling you so, and I might touch my earpiece like this.
Sponsored by Integrated Media, Columbia's premier home theater and security experts for over 20 years. On the Game Network and on 107.5, the Game app.
It is 5 o'clock news time here on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the post-game show along with Elijah Campbell. I'm Jay Phillips. Yes, you heard right if you're just tuning in. Terry Ford is away for a few days. Elijah kind enough to pull double duty here with me today and through the rest of the week.
It's a reunion show.
Being paid in beer. Friday, I'll be bringing Elijah a case of beer of his choice.
Yes.
That's the headline.
Still taking suggestions.
Yeah. Had somebody hit us up on what sounds like a really great beer from Charleston that I've not had. I've had several of Charleston's finer IPAs, but I've not had this one. And one from Georgia. And then we got a few, German beers.
My dude Marshall on the Firehouse Subs text line says, every time I venture away, I find myself coming back home to Sycamore Mountain Candy IPA. And, brother, it is fantastic.
Mountain Candy is...
That is another one of my favorites. That is a...
Fine choice.
That is a really good level of inspiration.
Now, Sycamore has a new one that I have not yet tried that apparently is quite good.
Ooh.
And it is an IPA, but I've not had it yet. So I'm looking forward to that. It's in a green can. I don't know what it was called. I can't remember now, but...
Somebody I don't even know what kind of can
told me about that the other day.
Mountain Candy IPA is in, but I've had it on draft. I think every time I've ever gone to O'Hara's for dinner, that is what I've had to drink each time.
I think it's in kind of a pinkish, purplish can. That's what it comes in.
Ooh, I like it. The name like that, appropriate.
We have a lot of Carolina football to get to in our Gamecock notebook coming up. Elijah was down with defensive availability, and we have some sound from Michael Smith that we'll get to as well from yesterday. But we'll get Elijah's full take on football coming up in just a little bit. Today, the Southeastern Conference did announce the upcoming basketball schedule for next season. Conference games only here. The Gamecocks are still finalizing their non-con. We know they're going up to the Greenbrier to take on not Butler. Who are they playing?
Northwestern, I think, is one of those teams.
Yeah.
Butler's in
it, but they're not. You're not playing.
I forget the other team that they've got up there.
God, I just blanked on that one.
But for the first time ever, they'll be playing Northwestern.
Yeah. Are they playing Virginia Tech again? That was last year.
They are. They're playing Virginia Tech in the SEC ACC challenge.
Okay, that's what that was. Anyway,
for the third straight year, Virginia Tech on the non-con schedule.
How's that work? But the conference schedule looks like this. Home with Vandy, at LSU, home with Georgia, at Arkansas, at Auburn, home with Oklahoma, at A&M, home with Florida, at LSU, or excuse me, home with LSU, at Texas, home with Missouri, at Alabama, at Florida, home with State, home with Kentucky, at Georgia, home with Tennessee, final conference game at Mississippi. Nashville will once again host the men's basketball tournament. I just gave you those games in terms of home away. All of the Saturday games are set for the Saturdays they'll be played upon. The midweek games, I don't think any of them are fully set as of yet. They're all at this point either Tuesday or Wednesday, and the SEC and Disney/ESPN will come up with those specific dates and times, I guess, a little bit later on this school year.
Yeah, Mickey's got some time, but he's a busy guy. There's a lot he's got to get to on a daily basis.
Florida comes to Columbia. Kentucky comes to Columbia. Tennessee comes to Columbia. So you get 3 really big marquee games at CLA this year.
Title contenders.
Who else is, man? I mean, obviously Auburn, you go there. A&M is transitioning to a brand new style of basketball.
They might be the most fun team to watch.
Will Alabama have as much hype around them this coming season as they did last year?
They lost a lot. Now they recruit really. They've recruited the high school level incredibly well.
Right.
And what the style Nate Oates plays, if they're an above average 3-point shooting team, they're going to have an edge in almost every game they play. But I don't know if I expect them to be as good as they were the last 2 years even.
Georgia got a little bit better last year.
I think they might regress a little bit.
Oklahoma, I'm not sure. I feel like Porter's got one more year left in him to kind of do something.
They did go all in on the transfer portal.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money in the offseason.
Missouri went back to the tournament after, again, can Carolina basically in some ways, again, luckily the Gamecocks didn't go over the conference the way Missouri did in between trips to the NCAAs, but can Carolina replicate that path? That'll be something that fans obviously want and Lamont wants. I mean, it feels like a tall order, and yet just showing a touch more, well, maybe more than a touch, but a couple of touches more, because how many of the 14 SEC schools that went to the tournament had a losing conference record? It was like 5 of them, right?
A good chunk. Yeah. I mean, when you get 14 teams in.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have some, and again, the RPI was fantastic. And
like Texas won, 7 conference games?
I think it was 7 or 8. I think they were like 8 and 10, right? Or maybe they were 7 and 11. I don't know. But I was thinking they were 8. I think there was a few that were like 8 and 10, it felt like.
Yeah, but they got a couple big ones. It was for them. It was the who they beat in some of those. They did get some wins that were resume builders.
But again, this year Carolina has home and homes with LSU, with Florida. Georgia is always one, and I believe is Mississippi State this year, or do they roll off?
I want to say I thought Mississippi State was like the.
All I see is I thought so too, but all I see is, unless I'm double checking right now,
because for the last couple
all
years,
I see is a home game with State this year.
Wow, just one.
I think that's maybe they changed that to have just the one that's permanent, and that's Georgia, and then you just have 2 rotating, and then everybody else you play home.
That's a scheduling break right there.
Yeah,
with Georgia losing Asa Newell in the draft, and their best guard scorer Silas Demery goes to UConn. They'll be down. Georgia won't be what Georgia was last year.
So, again, there you go. You can check that out at GamecocksOnline.com, the men's conference basketball schedule. Again, you know who you're going to play. You know where you're going to play. For about half the games, you know when you're going to play, at least date-wise. For the other half, they'll let you know. It'll be a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
They'll tell you to stay tuned.
Stay tuned. They'll probably have a big show on SEC Network. Hey, you're playing on Tuesday or Wednesday? Tune in tonight at 8.
We're going to find out in dramatic fashion.
Yeah. And speaking of basketball real quick, we had our good friend Lulu Kesson on earlier today. She not only covers football, but covers women's basketball as well for the Greenville News. And Elijah and I asked her about that Saturday date for Dawn Staley's team going to play Kim Mulkey's team in Baton Rouge. And obviously Malaysia Fulwiley is now an LSU Tiger. And now this is just Lulu's educated guess. She didn't give us any intel, but she feels like that's going to be it's a Valentine's Day Saturday game. And again, as she pointed out, Diana Koval told her first time that Diana can remember Carolina playing on a Saturday, because women's basketball is played on Sunday and Thursday. Mm-hmm. And again, men is Saturday and then Tuesday/Wednesday. So this is a Saturday game, and we do believe it'll be national television and some kind of spotlight. Lulu believes that game day will actually go to Baton Rouge, and then she thinks it's going to tip at noon. She said that's her best guess, is that they would have game day lead into
that game,
Carolina LSU in Baton Rouge. I was saying I'm pulling for it to be a night game and really showcase
love for it to be a night game. Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing.
But again, just Lulu's. I don't want to put words in her mouth or anybody say, well, Jay and Elijah said Lulu said it was going to be at. Nobody said for sure.
No, we're speculating.
Yeah, that's what we do around here.
We guess
a lot of that. That's part of it all. Once again, if you missed it, the National Football League has acquired NFL Network and Red Zone. And in return, the NFL doesn't get cash money. Instead, the NFL will now own 10% of ESPN. So in some small way, shape, or form, the NFL now has a stake in Disney, but it is exclusively an ownership stake in ESPN. The NFL Network will be owned and operated by ESPN. They'll control their linear and digital rights. NFL Network will ultimately become part of ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming service, which is simply going to be called ESPN. It will continue to be available if you have cable or satellite or any type of streaming service. ESPN will also get 3 additional NFL games, which means they'll have 28 during the course of the year. NFL Network will show 7 of those, and all of the ESPN-owned games will air on linear and streaming services. So if you're getting ESPN on cable, you're like, I'm not buying streaming. I don't want to. They won't have any exclusives. Prime is still going to have some exclusives, and Netflix now has Christmas games, right? Am I missing anybody? Apple didn't buy one yet, did they?
No.
Not yet. Also,
they have too much baggage from their current TV deal. It's not giving them.
ESPN is going to own what they call broad rights to the name Red Zone. And they will continue to have NFL Red Zone be what it is with no changes. Scott Hansen has it's already been announced. Scott Hansen will continue to host Red Zone. And what we know of as NFL Red Zone is not going to change in any way, nor should it, because, again,
perfect.
It's spectacular.
Don't touch it.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to sports television. I love Red Zone.
Dude, best sports viewing experience that exists.
Telling you, man, the wheel, the printing press, the computer, Red Zone, they're all in the same thing.
The PlayStation Portable.
Don't have one of those, but I'll take your word for it.
Great.
Take your word for it.
Oh, it was great. That was a fun time.
So there you go. But
fun time of adolescence.
In terms of the name Red Zone, again, might we see college football Red Zone? We might. In NBA, NHL, MLB. God, MLB Red Zone just actually sounds like punishment.
They did something like that. I'll say this. It was Orioles-Mets that was scheduled to play like a month or so ago.
Right.
It got rained out.
Right.
So it was just Zubin Mehenti in the studio, and he was just taking you game to game. Now, they had commercial breaks because there's commercial inventory you need to be able to dump that was previously scheduled to run during that originally scheduled baseball game. But they were doing a kind of like a round the MLB type broadcast. Loved it.
Well,
Loved it. I enjoyed it.
The NCAA tournament, what is it? Around the horn? What do they call it? Not around the horn. Bases loaded?
I was just talking about this like a month or two
anyway,
ago.
the college baseball
but
tournament.
It's really good.
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh, why am I blanking on that name?
I am too. We'll think. I know some of you are screaming at your radio. We can hear you, but we can't hear the words.
Yeah, scream louder.
Yeah,
I got headphones
It's not
on.
Bases loaded, but it's baseball terminology.
It is.
Anyway, they do a good job with that. They do a good job.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, they so in terms of baseball,
it changes how I view the NCAA baseball tournament.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind. I'm telling you, SEC Red Zone, I'm down with that.
Squeeze play.
Squeeze play.
That's what it is. Yes.
Nice.
It just came to me.
Good for you, son. Good for you. But SEC, ACC, that's what Disney owns the rights to. So again, you couldn't do Big Ten.
I do have a theory though.
Who has Big 12? They have some Big 12. Disney.
They've got a lot of Big 12. Well, they're going to have less because Peacock is having some Big 12. But I do have an unfortunate theory that the NFL and ESPN in this deal will kind of force ESPN to be more NFL-centric than it already is. And it might be bad news for some of the other
I don't know how they could be, but I don't disagree with you. I just don't know how they could be.
When you have steak in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do like steak.
Yes.
And finally, congratulations to the Irmo Little League guys. They were in the Southeast Regional Final today against defending Little League World Series champion Florida. And with a 2-run deficit and 2 outs and the bases loaded, Irmo, the home team, they hit a ball off the wall, cleared the bases, a walk-off 5-4 win will send the Irmo Little Leaguers to Williamsport in the Little League World Series. And then again, the highlight for me isn't just the hit off the wall that scored 3, but again, I don't know that third base coach. We're going to find out his name at some point in time, but that man's shoulder hurts right now.
Well, if you ever get him on the show, you can ask him, like, hey, is your arm still attached?
Y'all, I've watched the highlight several times now. My man is spinning that arm like seriously. He was creating energy.
He stretched for that.
He was creating energy with the windmill that he was doing. Like, you will get home. Judging by the speed of my arm waving you in, you will score. But Irmo, guys, that was cool, man. Walk off, man. And to go to huge big deal. Way to go, Irmo. Good stuff. 5-4 winners today over Florida. And the South Carolina team from Irmo advances up to Pennsylvania. That's our headlines of the day. Our Gamecock Notebook is next.
107.5 The Game in Columbia, 100.5 The Game in Florence, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Look, low testosterone is a thing. You might want to deny it, pretend it's not happening. Oh, it's just some goober tell me about it on commercials. But it's real for guys if you're getting older. Whether it's you don't sleep the way you used to, you can't lift the way you used to at the gym, you don't recover from exercise like you used to, you can't remember stuff anymore, you have a lack of drive in life, whether it's personal, professional, sexual, whatever. It's just things aren't the same anymore. Call the Men's Clinic of South Carolina, 803-875-MENS. Set up a free consultation with Dr. Dan and the staff. Tell them your story. If they think it could be low T, they'll do some lab work. If it comes back low testosterone, they will then put you on a program specifically designed for you to get you back to feeling like you again. Just make the call. 803-875-MENS. It's free. It's confidential. Tell them your story. They might be able to help you get back to being you again. Men's Clinic of South Carolina.
This report is sponsored by Carolina Conditions Home Services. Carolina Conditions Home Services specializes in generators, drains, and electric car chargers, making them your one-stop shop for all your comfort needs. Visit their website at carolinaconditions.com or call 803-233-7172 for expert service you can count on.
Sponsored by SC Education Lottery. The South Carolina Education Lottery is taking a major step forward in convenience by now accepting debit cards for lottery purchases. It's now easier than ever for players to play the lottery and support funding scholarships for higher education. At participating retailers, playing for fun is a win for education.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
Purple Wave Auction remains the trusted leader in online equipment auctions. What makes the difference is you. You are part of our growing global community that continues to trust Purple Wave with the equipment that builds and feeds America. This trust placed in us by our community, from construction to ag producers and fleet drivers, brings great equipment opportunities to their next owners. Join the Purple Wave community today. PurpleWave.com.
Skip the oil frying with air. Like a Bosch. Crispy like the county fair. Like a Bosch. Cook like a Bosch.
Go inside Krager Showrooms, formerly The Nest, in the Vista to find out how you can cook like a Bosch.
Calling all Gamecock fans, it's the return of the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing. Put on your Garnet and Black and head out to Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th for this free event featuring Gamecock Central. The festivities start at 5 p.m. and include a food menu inspired by all your tailgate favorites with live music from Ryan Trotty beginning at 6. So come out for the Garnet and Black Bash at Still Hands Brewing Saturday, August 16th from 5 to 10, and we'll see you there.
Better than average grass cutters deserve better than average lawnmowers. The all-new Gravely Pro Stance Ultra is built to be outstanding in every way. With the best-in-class 35-horsepower Kawasaki motor, beefed-up Parker transaxles, and 17 gallons of fuel capacity to keep you cutting longer, stronger, and smoother. This has been Cato, third-generation owner of Cato's Power Equipment. Columbia's home for the tools you need to maintain your turf. Located at 4012 West Beltline Boulevard, or always online at catospowerequipment.com.
The Game Summer Golf Classic is Friday, August 22nd at Charwood Golf Club. Tee time is 9 a.m. Registration starts at 7:30. Mimosa bar provided by Saki's Wine and Spirits. Onion sausage for breakfast and Firehouse subs for lunch. And oh yeah, we have prizes. And the golf gun is back again. $400 a team. Call 803-755-2000 and press number 2 to sign up.
post-game show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
Welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on here on a Wednesday. Jay Phillips, Elijah Campbell with you. Ed Bird at Master Control. Terry has a couple of days away, but appreciate Elijah's time as he is still doing what he does after we send him off to the early game. But so far, again, Jen has not bullied you out of that job.
Bullied or strangled, yeah.
Either one.
Either
or
one.
both. No, she wouldn't do that.
If I go missing and
Would she?
disappear.
Would she?
She seems really resourceful.
She does.
That's why I don't mess with her.
That's a fair point, man. That's a fair point.
I don't have many survival skills, but that is one of them, is learning who in the room I can and cannot mess with.
Gamecock notebook time, and my cohort here was down at the facility today for defensive availability. I'll set you up, and these are cold questions. I suppose for lack of a better term, what's the messaging feel like? But the questions around this Gamecock team primarily center around the fact that they lost so much on defense. And I just wonder if you have gotten any body language that would tell you some of these guys are taking that personally.
Maybe. I think they understand it. When they're asked about replacing those players, I feel like the body language would tell me it's like they expect it, and B, they understand it. But one thing that I try to figure out is if you ask them what like the strengths of the room are, and you ask a couple of the players the same question, and try to see what the overlap is, right? What's the common theme? And for the linebackers, because Sean Murphy spoke and J.R. Johnson spoke, and when they were asked about the room, like the linebacking room, what those strengths are, what they can tell they're good at so far, they both mentioned how fast they are. Now, Sean talked a lot more about the physicality. He says we're a lot of physical dudes, but JR kept it short and sweet. He goes, speed. We got a lot of speed.
But I'll be honest with you, man. When I've been asked, and we did this last week, I threw out a Twitter poll, and John Whittle and I agreed. My biggest concern is linebacking. It's not that I know they got bodies, because remember a couple years ago they didn't have bodies.
Right.
There
is a bench to tap into.
There is, but there's just so little experience, and I just wonder how much of an impact that makes early in the season. And I mean, and because again, there's dudes over there.
Yeah, that they're excited about, right? And like Sean Murphy is one of those, like the really interesting one. I think if there's one player in that linebacking room that I am just eager to see how he starts the season, it's Sean Murphy, because of what his career arc has kind of been so far. He started out at Alabama. Obviously, it's really hard to get on the field there just because they hoard talent at multiple position groups. And then he goes to Florida State. It doesn't happen the way he probably anticipated at the beginning of the year because he battled a lot of injuries, but he's able to play in the last 4 games of the season. And even what was a undoubtedly lost season, he got better throughout the course of those 4 games. His best game was that last one against Florida. And when I talked to him way back in the winter, he mentioned that he did feel a sense of momentum through those 4 games where he finally got into a rhythm. So now we're really going to see a full season of Sean Murphy in a role in which he's going to play and being expected to be a contributor from day one, barring any health issue, right? And that's the guy too. I mean, when we were at SEC Media Days, I was talking to Brian Harper, the brother of Roman Harper, and he got to watch a lot of Sean Murphy in practice, and he was telling me, he's like, better in pass coverage than you think.
Right.
That's what he told me. He's like, you got, he's like, number 7 down there. I was like, yeah, Sean Murphy. He's like, yeah, kid that came from started his career at Alabama. So yeah, pass coverage, underrated. No one talks about it, but he is got a lot of like the technical stuff down in terms of winning the hand fighting battle, being able to cover guys that might look a little faster than he is. Underrated part of that, because that was kind of like Demetrius Knight last year, right? Like outside of just the obvious stuff when you listen to him speak and you hear Coach Beamer talk about Demetrius Knight in terms of leadership, there was that element that, oh, yeah, Demetrius Knight was that good on the field. He was a good linebacker at stopping the run, but he was really good at being able to match up with players in space. And it does kind of seem like from some of the input I've gotten from people who have watched a lot of him is that could be his role on this defense. That is a vital role, and that's one of those you need somebody to be able to step in and take over pretty quickly, considering you don't ease your way in this year like you did last year with Old Dominion. You got Virginia Tech, a team that I think is better than people give them credit for in terms of just how their roster looks coming into the year.
Look at their results last year, too. I mean, I think am I right? Only the Clemson game was a double-digit loss?
Yep.
And it was just 10 points.
Yeah, they were 0-5 in one-score games.
Yeah, and they went to overtime twice. So, I mean, I think Virginia Tech's pretty good. I know you don't have an answer to this question, but, again, talking about the bodies and the depth at linebacker, and I want to stick to that group, I wonder, and this is, again, probably a question more for Clayton White as the DC/linebacker coach, and now Jeff Collins is helping him out with linebackers. Could they do a kind of a hockey line deal the way the defensive interior did last season? I mean, are they – I guess you'd rather have your frontline guys and then spell them accordingly, but is there an opportunity for more of an equal mix of playing time?
I think we'll see that to start the year. I mean, you can only see so much at the beginning of camp and then all the way through the end of it because you're going against like the same offensive. Like your ones are going against ones usually, your twos, and you'll mix and match them, but you're still pairing it against your offensive line, right? And if your they might make your offensive line look really good in camp, and then the offensive line doesn't look that good on the field, and the defensive line would then in turn look worse because they weren't winning in practice. You're not winning in games if you're playing its better offensive line, right? So like the evaluation thing can be a little tricky. I think we will see a healthy rotation to start the year, but once we get into week 3, week 4, I think they're going to want to have it to where a lot of the substitutions are kind of like spelling, like what we saw like with Monkel Goodwine last year, right? Like Monkel got on the field, but he wasn't on the field a ton, right? I mean, he was able to contribute when he could, but the guys that played, your TJ Sanders, your Tonka Hemingways, Boogie Huntley, a lot of those guys, they're on the field a lot. They get in rhythm, right? You get a lot of snaps, and that helps you get in the rhythm, the natural flow of the game. You see things on the field a little more. You get more of a sample size. You can adjust to what the offensive line's doing if you need to. I think that is more advantageous than, say, like hockey line shifting. But if it's something you need to do early in the season just to be able to give you a little bit more of a sample size to judge who needs to be where on the depth chart, I think that's an approach that they will start to take, and then it kind of clear out once the season continues.
Anything else stand out to you today in terms of the comments or the body language? Or, I mean, I know it's only day, 5 of camp, so.
David Busey.
Oh?
Jalen Kilgore. Big Play Boose. That's what they called him.
Right.
He got a cool nickname. But that's a guy, too. And before I went, it's funny because I was studying turnover numbers from last year because that's what we're going to talk about a lot tomorrow starting at 6 a.m.
On the early game.
On the early game. That's right. Elijah Campbell.
Shameless plug.
Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen. David Busey, 2 forced fumbles last year.
Yeah.
An ace on special teams. Might see him on the field a little bit because he does the one thing that we talked about earlier in the show, Jay Phillips, the Charles Peanut Tillman punch-out, which they have been drilling. I thought that was really cool, that they've been drilling that intensively throughout camp. That is a heavy emphasis, is punching the ball. Get to the ball and punch that sucker out, man. Dave Busey, if you remember the Alabama game on the special teams play, they didn't recover the fumble.
Right.
But he comes in there and he hammer punches that thing out.
Yeah.
He's good at that. Like, that's a skill that he's got down. That can make him really valuable on this team. And when Jalen Kilgore was asked about it, you could almost see his face light up a little bit. Like, that's my dude. Yeah. He makes plays. He forces turnovers. Something to watch for is a bigger role for David Busey.
Well, when I texted you this morning, you did say, hey, I'm getting ready to go to defensive availability, and that's why I sent Elijah a fake question that said, hey, any of you guys have as cool a nickname as Boogie? So
I think we have our answer.
Okay.
Big Play Busey.
Big Play Busey. I like it. It's got a ring. A little alliteration.
A little alliteration.
I like that.
Big game anything's fun. Big game Busey's a lot of fun.
We'll come back on the other side with a drive around the SEC. ESPN has kind of put 3 tiers of teams with big-time postseason hopes. We'll see what you guys think of that when the postgame show returns.
107.5 The Game in Columbia. 100.5 103, The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass.
AAA Heating and Air is giving you extra time to take advantage of a fantastic opportunity. Roy and Dana Finley want to make sure that you and your family stay comfortable, not just the rest of this year, but for many, many years to come. And they are offering you a 15-year parts and labor guarantee on a brand new system. They can guarantee to get you financed as well, a $1,500 system buyback rebate, and no payments or interest for qualified buyers for a full 12 months. So you got time to enjoy this, got time to set yourself up to get it all taken care of. 803-677-1500 is the phone number to call. And typically, if you're ready for a brand new system, they can get that installed for you inside of 2 days. They just did it for us. So we had a system go out at our house that was 18 years old. They'd been serviced a couple times. It was time for something new. 2 days later, my kids were happy, family's happy. That's all that matters. 803-677-1500 for all your HVAC needs. It's AAA Heating and Air.
If you have IRS tax problems, it can seem like a vicious cycle that never ends, year after year. Just getting the mail can be stressful and overwhelming. Don't let it ruin your life. There is a solution. Since 2008, the attorneys at Ecton Law Firm have devoted their practice to the resolution of tax problems for individuals and businesses across the Carolinas. We have the knowledge and experience and are dedicated to the success of each client. We are local attorneys with local solutions. At the free initial consultation, we'll listen to your concerns, your goals, and explain the systematic process we use in solving your tax problem. From that initial meeting, you'll see there is a solution. We're dedicated to improving your life by solving your tax problems. If we sound like someone you want to work with, take that first step. Give us a call at 803-771-9800 or go to ectonlawfirm.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass. And now, traffic sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive on the Game Network.
From the Wetzel's Automotive Traffic Studios, I'm Elijah Campbell. A few accidents to get to you. They're causing some issues on the roadways, starting with one on Fairfield Road near I-20. I-77 southbound at I-20 near exit 16 has an object on the roadway causing a traffic backup. That's not good. We have more accidents on Lady Street at Hugh G. Street here downtown, Oak Drive near Mineral Springs Road. And lastly, one on Old Charleston Road at South Carolina 278 near Calks Ferry Road. From the Wetzel's Automotive Traffic Studios, I'm Elijah Campbell.
It's time for our drive around the SEC on the postgame show.
Georgia on the mountaintop. Demons be gone, and the drought is over. National champions.
On the Game Network and on 107.5, the Game app.
It is Drive Around the SEC time on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Elijah with you. Ed Bird at Master Control. Had some fun today with some trivia. Brett McMurphy throwing it out this morning when he was on the Andy and Ari show. In the last 20 years, only 2 college football national champions were not ranked inside the top 7 of the preseason poll, and those were Auburn, 2010, and 2013 FSU. And you said Auburn was 22.
Correct.
FSU was 11. And then Florida one year was 7.
2006.
06 Florida, Urban's first title.
That
They
was
were right on the line.
backup quarterback Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Chris Leak.
That's right.
Yeah.
Coached by one Dutch Fork head coach, Tom Knott.
Yeah, that's
in high
right.
school.
Up in Charlotte, yeah. Independence? The center?
Maybe. I can't remember the specific school.
Somebody.
But I do remember interviewing Tom Knotts when I was working at the Chronicle.
Yeah?
And him talking about Chris Leak. And I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, this look, national
And-
championship winning quarterback Chris Leak.
And then CJ was at, where?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Was supposed to be the next quarterback after Casey Clausen, but then moved to wide receiver. So some fella named Eric Ainge can be the quarterback as a true freshman.
He was good.
Yeah, he was solid. He was good. He was really good.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing about the Chris Leak thing? The entire talk about Arch Manning this year is, oh, he couldn't have been that good. He couldn't beat out a 7th-round draft pick. What does that say about Tim Tebow that he couldn't beat out Chris Leak?
They had the packages as they
did.
for Tebow.
The same thing Texas did for Arch Manning this year.
People, Arch wasn't any good against Georgia. I was like, dude, you see that Georgia defense?
How many people are good against Georgia?
Not many. Not when it comes to
Ole Miss beat him by 18, and the offense wasn't that good.
Right.
It was good enough.
Drive around the SEC. Speaking of Georgia, ESPN's writers, Chris Lowe, Mark Schlabach, and others putting together kind of their outlook for the Southeastern Conference. And they've got, in terms of the schools that have an opportunity to be CFP contenders, they put them into 3 different groups. First off, the should be in category. Remember, it's only 12 slots. Should be in. So basically, these are like, hey, if you don't make it, it's your fault. Texas, Georgia, Alabama. You agree with those 3?
In terms of should be in?
Should be in the playoff.
I don't know if I'd keep Alabama in there. I think in terms of who should, like you could feel pretty confident about them appearing in the playoff. I think that's Texas and Georgia.
Okay.
A lot of teams can.
Right.
I think you could even get 4 or 5 teams in this thing. I think that's how many teams are good enough to be in there.
Yeah.
But in terms of who should, where if you don't make it, your season is an absolute failure, Texas and Georgia.
Fair. I kind of might have put LSU in this group too, but they're in the next group, which is in the running. And 3 schools in this one too. LSU, A&M, and Mississippi. So in the running. Now, last year, you might argue that South Carolina, Mississippi, and Alabama were the ones in the running as Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee made it.
Yeah, I'm not putting Ole Miss in that. I'm not sold that they did enough in the transfer portal. Like, look, what they had last year going into the year was the perfect combination of continuity and adding good transfer portal players. You lose enough to where you have defensively, I think Suntarine Perkins is legit. You added a bunch of guys that were solid, but you got to be able to gel quickly. The offense is nothing but transfer players that need to gel quickly. I just can't firmly sit here right now and say I am confident that Ole Miss is in the running for the college football playoff. Not saying they can't do that or they don't have the talent to do that. I can't confidently say that they'd be in the running for it.
So, again, that's the in the running category. The next, and they only looked at the schools that they think have an opportunity, so not every school is in a group. The final group is 5 schools, and they call them the long shots. And, again, this is to make the field of 12. Long shots. Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Missouri, and Florida. Of the Gamecocks, and Mark Schlabach wrote up this particular paragraph. Of the Gamecocks, he says that they have to, he says, South Carolina brings back one of the league's best players in quarterback Lenora Sellers, but it will have to replace its entire offensive line, leading rusher, and most of its top playmakers on defense. Well, they're not replacing the entire offensive line, so I'm not quite sure where Schlabach got his intel.
Maybe the entire interior offensive line. That is being replaced, but the two tackles.
Yeah, your two starting tackles are back. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was a freshman element.
And in the sense that you bring back, so I'm not sitting here trying to, look, I'm not trying to defend Carolina or attack Mark Schlabach. I don't know if it's a quick blurb. But I thought, well, that's not entirely accurate. Everything else is accurate. Lenoris is very good. Most of its top playmakers on defense did get drafted into the NFL. That's fair. I think they
did return the lead or the SEC leader in interceptions.
They did, and who's a projected first-round pick. And Dylan Stewart is a projected first-round pick, just not for another
season,
2 years. So there's that. Again, I think Tennessee on defense is good here. Look, Oklahoma, to me, is the biggest, maybe the biggest wild card in college football.
They could be.
Because their defense was really good last year. They couldn't score any points. And they've done plenty to correct that. Now, will it work? We'll find out. That's why we play football games.
The John Mateer experiment is an experiment.
And, look, Missouri, Eli's just kind of quietly going about his business, and they've won 10 games 2 years in a row.
And it's
not easy to do, man.
They have proven talent. I mean, they replaced their running game last year with a true sophomore who in his true freshman year had over 1,000 yards in a season after contact.
Right. That's tough. And
Tough
look,
runner.
Mizzou's non-con leaves a lot to be desired in terms of really testing them.
It will not challenge them one bit.
It doesn't. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed.
Cowardly.
Well, last year, look, I think that Boston College game was better than maybe we thought, but I don't know.
Our bar was pretty low for Boston College.
Yeah, that's fair. But I like their coach, and I think he's got something going. And then Florida, how healthy is Lagway? I think that's the thing we have to just, he's back at practice right now. But if he doesn't play, the drop-off there is like those cliff divers in Mexico.
Their backup quarterback is, right?
It's the kid that was at Tennessee for a bit, and Louisville,
or Tennessee to UNLV, then didn't play football for a year.
I'm trying. What's his name?
Harrison Bailey.
Bailey.
It's not ideal.
Because Lagway I like, but now this is a fourth injury. Basically,
it's stacking up. Like there is,
a fourth different injury.
There can be some reasonable made of glass accusations made.
Well, it's just when you start to see. Because again, it's been a hamstring, a shoulder, a sports hernia, and now lower leg calf. Does that mean Achilles? This is one of those NBA things that we've seen a lot lately.
Kevin Durant and Tyrese Halliburton taught us that there is a correlation between the lower calf injury and a future Achilles.
I like Tennessee. Listen, it's fair to put Carolina, I think, either in the running or long shot. I get it.
Yeah.
I might have moved LSU up a little bit because I think they'll be better on defense. And they're a top 10 team going in, but everybody's schedule's hard. I don't want to say the schedule's hard. Everybody's schedule's hard.
I would say South Carolina probably had Missouri has got the easiest one. South Carolina, the way their schedule lines up, where they could possibly be, if they take care of business against Missouri, could be 5-0 going into the LSU game. That helps. Then you get into your murderer's row part of the schedule. But if you do it going in 5-0, you got to feel good about yourself. And as long as you don't let one or two games break you, or if you lose one of them, let it beat you twice, then you can put yourself in a position to move up a little bit.
Last year, Carolina had a good season despite losing 2 of their conference home games. And this year, I don't think you can lose 2 of your conference home games. Because you can't, because let's face it, if you don't beat Vanderbilt and Kentucky at home.
Oh, we're having a different discussion.
Then they come first. But then you've got Bama and Oklahoma in back-to-back weeks. You better at least split that.
If you slip up in September like you have in the last couple of years, you are in trouble.
Yeah. I really, going into October, again, 4-1 is the worst you can be, I think.
I don't even think
I'm going to say that's the worst you can be.
Yeah, exactly. Like
and
I think Missouri's good, and playing at Como can be weird.
Right.
But there can be some doubt sown, I guess, if you drop that game.
That's our drive around the SEC, brought to you by Herndon Chevy. Come back on the other side. We'll have Jay versus the Internet, and I have a story on something that the NFL has just banned. What is it? I'll tell you coming up.
107.5 The Game in Columbia. 100.5 The Game in Corinth. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. The Game Network.
The Game Summer Golf Classic is Friday, August 22nd at Charwood Golf Club. Tee time is 9 a.m. Registration starts at 7:30. Mimosa bar provided by Saki's Wine and Spirits. Onion sausage for breakfast and Firehouse subs for lunch. And oh yeah, we have prizes. And the golf gun is back again. $400 a team. Call 803-755-2000 and press number 2 to sign up.
This is Bart Winkler with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find the store at metalsupermarkets.com. In their last 60 games, the Milwaukee Brewers have gone 44-16, their best clip in that amount of time ever. This is a team that capitalizes on your mistakes, forcing your team to play a full game of baseball mentally and physically. The Brewers are not a fluke. Regular season success for them will continue. They'll blow it in the playoffs like they always do, but the Brewers right now are not a fluke. I'm Bart Winkler.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Do you have sagging, soft, or bouncy floors in your home? Well, this could be a sign of rotten wood caused by moisture in your crawl space. Damaged wood in your crawl space can affect your home's foundation, and that can affect your home's value, and nobody wants that. Say goodbye to sagging floors and hello to a stable foundation. Contact Canty today for your free inspection at 803-424-8380 or visit cantycanfixit.com.
Injured in a car wreck? Need your check? It's easy. Dial 1-800-ALL-7s now.
The Anastapula Law Firm has been recovering millions for their clients for over 30 years. Whether it's a slip and fall, car accident, or any other issues that have resulted from an accident, Anastapula Law Firm can help. Their South Carolina personal injury attorneys have experience fighting for the rights of their clients. Remember, don't scream. Call Akeem. Dial 800-ALL-7s now. Herb Glass is responsible for this ad, and cases are handled at 32 Ann Street, Charleston, South Carolina, 29403. Paid endorsement, not actually client. Results may vary.
The Postgame Show with Jay Phillips and Terry Ford on the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
11 minutes in front of 6 o'clock here on a Wednesday afternoon. Final few minutes of the postgame show. Jay and Elijah with you. A couple more hits real quick on our start bench drop today before we get to that NFL story. If I can come back around here.
The Shield.
Let's see here. Franklin says, start Georgia, bench Penn State, drop the U. Steven says, start Georgia, bench Penn State, cut Miami. Donnie says, start Penn State, even though Franklin will lose. Bench Georgia, Bobo is still calling plays.
Love the rationale here.
Drop Miami. They have yet to prove anything. All right. Robert says, start Georgia, bench Miami, cut Penn State. I hadn't had too many of those. And a couple of you also said just start Georgia. It doesn't matter about the others. I would start Georgia. I'm gonna reluctantly bench Miami, and I'm gonna drop Penn State because I honestly, Elijah Campbell, I think Ohio State and Oregon are better than Penn State. And I don't see Penn State in the Big Ten championship.
Don't know if I could disagree more.
Okay. Who you got?
Penn State, I'm starting.
Okay.
Benching Georgia,
right.
Dropping Miami.
Okay.
When it comes to Penn State, I like to compare them to Georgia, like quarterback. Penn State, by far. I
like Drew Aller.
I like Gunnar Stockton.
I think Stockton's going to be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
I'm not saying like that's a huge concern.
Yeah.
Aller's pretty good.
Yeah.
Penn State's the only team in the country returning 2,000-yard rushers from last year. Georgia's got good running backs. They're not those two guys.
Right.
Offensive line, it's pretty equal. Penn State's got a really good offensive line, and they have clear. And again, you're returning a lot of starters that had a running game good enough to have 2,000-yard rushers in the backfield. That's pretty good. I like Georgia's receiving crew better.
And they've added some nice portal additions.
Noah Thomas is a big one.
Yeah.
That should help. Defensively, even though Penn State lost Abdul Carter, all those guys still 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars. They've got a really high blue chip ratio. Secondary, I'd probably give the edge to Georgia. I think defensive line, it's probably a push. Defensive back, Georgia. Linebacking crew, maybe Georgia, maybe a push. That one's also just really competitive. Penn State's, I think, better than a lot of fans give them credit for.
I think talent-wise, Penn State's great. That's why I say.
Talent.
I think they miss that dynamic playmaker on offense, that receiver type I'm talking about. And like I say, I think there's a lot of times when James Franklin coaches not to lose. And
he is bad in big games.
We saw enough of that around here. I just, like you pointed out, with Ohio State, you had him beat, but you got to go for the kill. And he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because I think he thinks if we go for the kill, we might mess up. Well,
you mess up anyway.
Yeah. So,
but that team is built like a championship team. Now, whether or not they win it or not is another thing. But I am incredibly high on Penn State. I think that's one of the 3 best rosters, too, in college football.
If y'all want to keep hitting us, you can do that. We can read some more tomorrow. The National Football League has banned smelling salts and ammonia packets, Elijah Campbell. They are doing this primarily because these products, let's face it, back in the day at least, this is what the trainer or the assistant coach would put under a kid's nose when he had his bell rung. Get Billy back out there. Just get him one of them capsules.
Wake him up a little bit.
Now listen, have you ever popped an ammonia capsule and put it under your nose?
I never have. I've always been curious as to what that feels like.
Dude, I did it back in like middle school. We popped one time. It almost sounds like you're like, hey,
sounds like you're doing drugs.
I know, right? Yeah. Just to see. And brother, let me tell you, it's everything you think and then some. I mean, it will fry your nose for a couple of minutes. And a lot of them also have like some like pepper or something to kind of just, really jolt you. But that ammonia, they're doing it. It's a liability thing. Now, apparently some players do it as like a quick, almost like an upper, which makes 0 sense to me. Because again, it's so overpowering. Ed Bird, you ever popped one of those ammonia capsules back in the day?
Oh, he's saying yes.
I mean, it's a jolt, man.
I kind of want to just do it on air for the first time.
Well, you can still and ask ask Preston if he did Coach McKissick do that back down at Somerville? Was that a thing? And especially for those big ones up front like Preston was. I don't know, but dude. I mean, good for them in the sense that it's a liability thing.
But because it is, you got to be able to.
And they're basically saying, like, if we do this and somebody says, well, hey, they gave me a ammonia capsule and I went back out there, like, yeah, that's not really.
And they got hit really hard again.
Yeah, because it's not. And it makes me think back too, like, God, this is what they used to do. Like, he had his bell rung. Get him one of these. So
we should be past that.
Yeah, he can't see anything anymore, and now he can't smell.
But he's very awake.
But let's send him back out and play football. No Jay versus the Internet today, so we'll do more of that tomorrow. Thank you for coming in. Again, send Elijah more of your beer requests, and we'll get him a case of beer for doing this on Friday. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you, Ed.
I'm all ears.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at